what's...
So there is one thing I would have done during that downtime of recuperation and recovery. I would have looked at the book that I stole from the blood vomiting guy.
Ah, yes, the book. Okay.
First, I want to see if I can make it my own book, so I can scribe my shit in it. But if not, I understand. Like if it's full of.
It is so the Libra Mutandis that you found is a fully inscribed written book. It is not something you can really utilize for what you want. But I will also tell you, it is not in a language that you can understand. So you cannot read it at present.
Okay.
I feel bad, Shaggy. I can't read anything. So.
I mean, so could I try to start deciphering it, or would I have to go out and actively find?
You would have. It's basically that would be like saying, can I decipher? Can I decipher Hebrew when you don't speak or have ever studied Hebrew? It's not really a thing you can decipher.
Okay.
It is not a encryption of such. This is just a language that you do not speak or read or write.
All right, so I would then spend one of those days going to the college library with an example of one word or one little part to see if I could find a translation. I guess like common to chaos mutation language,
or at least determine
translator.
what language it is.
Yeah.
Or that. That's smarter.
Okay, I would
you.
say if you're going to do that and just take like one little paraphrase, at most, yeah. I mean, it's not going to do enough to really give away what it is, but you will be told that it is written in the Old Classical. That is an example of Old Classical language.
Old Classical, because I am trained in Classical.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. I'm an elf.
Oh, well then in that case, I take it all back. You can read it.
Yeah.
You need to give me a challenging
Uh-oh.
minus 10% test.
Minus 10. Okay.
Yeah, that's what challenging is. It gives you a minus 10.
Hey!
Congratulations. You can indeed successfully read the book.
It's family recipe book.
For demons.
Okay,
the roll log is...
The what?
The dice roll panel is...
Oh, yeah, we haven't even opened stuff up yet, have we? We hadn't got that far. Let's go ahead and...
I have gained 40 insanity points. Thanks, Prepper!
No, it's not 40.
You can make a pan of brownies.
That's right. Okay,
And you mean mean. Demonic.
Okay, first of all,
probably.
you can give me a willpower test to see about these insanity points.
Oh shit, that's an actual thing, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, give me a willpower test.
Alright, willpower. Hey!
Okay, you pass, so you do not gain an insanity test.
Get all those good rolls out of the way now.
If you did not already possess academic knowledge magic, after reading this book, spending 100 experience points would have granted you that skill. Just so you know.
Oh.
So
I do have academic knowledge magic.
yes, you do. So, if you have 100 points to spend at some point, you may do so to master that, which allows you to put the little tech box to get the plus 10
Oh.
on the sheet.
Huh.
Neat.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is a naughty book. This book talks about very bad things, and the fact that all magic is a gift, and the gift comes from only one source, and that source is pure chaos, and that you should absolutely embrace chaos if you want to truly have the ability to master all magic. As you read through this book, it becomes pretty obvious to you that this book would be completely outlawed throughout the Empire, and possession of it is enough to probably have you burned at the stake.
Oh, good. I'm glad we have that. Somewhere near us.
Yeah. You know, obviously, if you were, you know, it's just not a good book to carry around. It's not a thing to have. But hey, if you want to be able to spend 100 EXP to master, just keep it on your person till you got that EXP to spend and knock it out the park.
Oh, this is gonna go well, isn't it?
But fortunately for you, you know, I'm sure you, obviously, if you took the care to take just one teeny tiny piece, I'm assuming you already had suspicions that this book was probably not the...
I mean, I don't see normal people vomiting fucking blood that almost kills my halfling friends, right? So yeah, I'm gonna keep it super covered up.
Okay. Alright, but yeah, as I said, if you spend 100 experience points with this book, you can take your knowledge magic to mastery.
But just for someone who's not like super familiar with the game, like I understand. Does academic knowledge magic get rolled a lot? I mean, I don't really understand the use of. I mean, I just have it, so yeah.
Maybe if you had it, you would understand.
Right.
Basically, you can choose to roll academic knowledge magic anytime you come across anything that is of a remotely magical nature to see if you can, gain some understanding or enlightenment into it.
Right. So it's like Arcana or Spellcraft and
or
D&D,
like
right? Just
Cthulhu Mythos in Call of Cthulhu.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a very, very good skill, but no, it's not one you're going to roll on a whole bunch.
Yeah,
Purely because you shouldn't be stumbling across magic every 5 seconds.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So with that being determined, I'm so glad that you said that you didn't decide to hand it to one of the priests and say, "Can you understand what this says?"
Yeah, no, that...
Yes, it says arrest that man. So, okay. So a couple of days of convalescing. After, hanging out and stuff here in and around the Temple of Ulrich, which is right up here. What is your desire? What do you guys want to go out and do? As you're first able to get back out on the streets.
We do have that meeting set up.
And the improved armor.
And you do have some armor to go collect, yes.
Yeah.
We did set up. What day was it that we were supposed to meet with the witch hunters? That was Cattle Row. He set up that meeting.
I've checked my calendar, but I can't read.
Wasn't it just a few days after?
Yeah, it was like 3 dadays time. I feel like I would have said 3 days time.
Okay,
it's been more than 3 days time. I can't remember.
Exactly.
It's been about, so with it being 3 days, it would be this evening then. Would be your meeting.
Okay.
After a couple of days of convalescing plus the day of the events themselves. So yeah. So this evening.
Yes.
So
And where did you arrange to have that meeting?
The Shady Bar.
Okay.
Shady Bar.
The Shady Bar and Grill?
My notes are back at the other place, so I don't actually have the names of places.
No, that's cool. I'm dropping things.
I left all of my notes back in my house.
Oh, that's right.
This one, or is it that one?
Did we agree to have two
Is
booths
this one?
where I and someone else was not going to be in the presence, but I could hear what you guys are talking about?
That was part of the game
Bertilda.
plan, yes.
Because of my pig nose.
And Bertilda hates the witch hunters.
That too.
That was the plan.
I hate the witch hunters. Okay. So, you were talking about the last drop, which was the one... let's see... What's the big halfling bar?
Big Halfling Bar's up here, I thought. And
It's here.
I'm going to move over.
That's that one. Okay.
Okay, yeah, so the halfling bar was here. This one here is the blazing hearth, and this was the one right here. This is the last drop. And that was the one that you had the What did you going to have the meeting in? That is the one that has the little booths and is kind of considered altogether shady.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess before evening came, we would go to the armor shop first, right? That makes sense.
Yeah, we would have
Makes sense.
dropped by to get that finished up.
Get Bertilda. Get her all armored up
Okay.
so she could save our asses again and again.
How much money was the armor that we had to pay left over? We only paid half, right?
We
You
did
paid half. All I can tell you, let's see. I don't because she had some of it, right? I don't recall what. Well, what do you already have? What armor do you already have?
I don't have any of the mail.
No,
I mean,
right, but you already had.
Plate. I mean, I have mail and leather.
Okay, so you were just getting the suit of. You were just adding plate, right? Adding a suit of plate on top of what you already had. That's right. Okay.
My inventory sheet says I have 71 gold crowns, and I don't think that's right.
It's probably right though, because we had given you a lot of the gold that we were holding on to.
Yeah.
Right, but wouldn't I have given that?
We also got some gold.
I think that was after you acquired that money after they'd already. And when you went, a whole bunch of you they all chipped in to pay for.
Right, yeah, we chipped in for the first half with the down payment, and then Ulrich gave us more. I mean, they rewarded some of us some gold. Like,
so for the plate, helm, breastplate, bracers, and leggings, was a total of 230. So if you paid half, you've got 115 that you still owe.
Okay, so
Assuming you already had a full suit of leather and a full suit of chain,
yes.
then that was what it would be to add that.
All right, so 70 gold.
So you'd have 115 still to pay.
I have
All right, so
60.
7 minus 70, I guess, because that's what I have in my inventory.
I have 128, so
I have 49 left in
I
mine.
have 65. We'd
So
give it-
you definitely have the money to pay for
yeah, I'll give you 50, easy.
it. Okay.
Yeah, I'll part with another 20. We're just throwing money out. They're just throwing money at Bert.
Everyone just say, have some of my money. Spend it foolishly. Alrighty.
So right there, you should be set,
Okay.
right? 70 plus 50 plus 20.
70 plus 50 plus 20?
Plus
That's
20.
More than
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But we want Bertil to have some left over, right?
Yeah, so that'll be 140 that they're giving you. Plus your 70, or whatever you've
While
already
we're
got.
in that area, I'm gonna buy more.
Well, let's figure that out, because before we leave here, I just need to know everything that everybody's doing, because stuff's going to go down. So
Yeah, just I mean, I'd be helping get the armor and stuff. Probably hanging out mostly at
Okay.
the Church of Ulrich.
Wait, no, somebody bought it for me. Never mind.
All right. So basically, everybody is heading to
Yeah, we're
get
all
the
going
armor.
there.
Okay. Alrighty. Perfect. Okay. Well, once you have left the, let me go ahead and take off this tunes, because that's not what we want. We want some,
Oh,
something.
I need to add my encumbrance for my armor.
Oh, don't worry about that right now.
Okay.
You're not gonna get to the armor. We're being stopped.
Well, no, but encumbrance with armor is kind of weird in this game.
Well, I mean, it's
yeah.
gonna just put me at the same thing I'm pretty much
Yeah.
at anyway. So
That's it. All right, let me get down here and get below the evil. Book of the things about the Book of Evil. Okay. So yeah, you step out onto the prominent streets, out from the safety and cover of the Temple of Ulrich, and it is immediately prevalently obvious there is a very different feel on the streets. There is a sense of panic. There is a level of unrest that you hadn't felt before. You notice that people are tending to gather around in groups and point and look at each other rather suspiciously. And not probably less than 3 or 4 groups are pointing at you all and whispering and waving their fingers in your general direction, but no more you than any other group. There's an overall just feel of potential paranoia in the air.
It's like a witch hunting hour. Okay.
Is it my helm being all beastly like?
Probably doesn't help.
Not just you.
If we get you, decked out in your lioness plate armor, you probably inspire people,
To not point at us?
Oh, they pointed at us for different reasons, I'm sure.
As you're wandering, you notice 4 or 5 guards in a cluster charging down a side alley, screaming bloody murder like they're, "Stop them! Stop them at all costs!" And they're like, and no sooner does that happen, you hear somebody yell, like, off on the opposite direction. You hear a blood-curdling scream, like, "Ah!" And then, "Oh!" Like, people start to scatter. Clearly something very unsavory is going on the streets of Middenheim right now.
Ooh.
We haven't gone very far, have we?
No, you've just got out of... You basically got up, sorted yourselves out, felt better, swapped out some money, and said, let's go to the armory before we go to the meeting. But the last day or so, you've all been pretty much just in here convalescing and resting up, so...
Are there any of the guards around?
There are guards that you saw run past in a screaming mob, chasing people, but no, there is
from
no...
the temple. Like the temple soldiers.
Oh, the Teutonics, like the actual knights and stuff? I mean, there's still some of those. You notice that now you're kind of more aware of it. Several of them are set up in a very militaristic defensive line on the outskirts of the temple. Like, should anything suddenly try to advance on the temple, they would very quickly come to a hugely armored line ready to defend the temple. But rather than actually form that line ahead of time and look too intimidating to where no one will approach, you can kind of see them off to the left and off to the right, but clearly ready to mobilize in a matter of moments.
Can I go up to one of the guards then, or the knights?
Okay.
I was just going to say, where's that scream coming from?
You guys can take off.
Where you are, the scream probably come from somewhere over here, and the group of guards probably ran down this side alley. Okay.
I'm sorry, we've been in the temple for a few days now. What is going on in the city?
Through his kind of slotted helm, you can't really see any facial expressions, but a muffled voice just says, "Probably best if you just find yourself somewhere safe to hold up for a while. Get off the streets as quickly as possible."
Safe. How do you find somewhere safe if you don't know what you're trying to be safe from?
Just get yourself inside. Lock the doors.
Inside a certain area of the city?
It doesn't matter. Just get behind closed doors. The whole city is in uproar. Now move along. I cannot be distracted by simple questions. We have things to watch out for.
Okay, well, I guess...
You there! And he kind of like yells over at this other guy that you see kind of walking by with a hood. And as he says that, one of the others runs over and grabs the hood and like snatches it off his head. With one hand like on a blade as he like on the hilt of a blade as he does so, and then just like relaxed, he just pushes him and says, "Get out of here, you!"
We should get off the streets immediately.
Maybe just go back into the church at this point.
I'm not sure that's where we want to be right now, if they're the ones looking for this.
Well, it was the guards, not the...
No, that was actually one of the
was
Templars
that
at the
Templar?
temple.
It was the
Okay.
knights, yeah.
Okay.
Like a guy just happened to walk too close with a hood over his head, so they like yanked the hood off and were about to put him to the sword if they saw something they didn't like by the looks of it.
Well, if we hightail it back to the armorer, then we can get behind that door.
I think we should get
Yep,
Behind-
which is kind of down this way.
a door quickly.
There's always a haunted bar we could hang out in.
Yeah, that one was
A
pretty
haunted
well
brewery,
guarded
you mean?
last time I recall.
Also, wasn't it really far away?
It's a little
It
bit past where we're
was
going for the
down
armorer.
here.
I
It's
think
not
if we're
that
going to
far
go for the
from-
armor,
It wasn't really that far from the merchant area that you were going.
I think if we're going for the armor, we should not all go together.
Does
If
to
I-
not look like a group, or
Well, if they're looking for what I think they're looking for, then we should be cautious.
Oh, I see. You just don't want to walk down the street with me.
I don't want you to cause suspicion.
Yeah,
and
but
kill
then they're
us.
looking for people, so.
And I am covered
You are
facially.
covered.
Yeah,
And if
you've
they-
got that.
I got a
Pull the
mask
helmet.
on underneath the helm.
You've got
Of
your
a
face.
chaos helm. Of all things, a chaos will be so fucking helm.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
just
that-
I belong out here.
Yet surprisingly, nobody is really giving you even the guards outside the temple. Nobody is giving you a hard time over wearing that helm.
I've been wearing it a lot, I guess.
Yeah, nobody's
Okay.
fussed about that. Strangely enough.
You really want to split?
Well, I just think you should be extremely cautious right now.
I
and
agree.
if we don't give him a crowd to stay in, then he's going to be sticking out like a sore thumb.
If we put him
move
in the
as a group.
If we put him in a crowd, they could be looking through the crowd.
That
I
being
think he
said,
should
can
be
we
hidden.
walk while talking? It's going to look stupid if we're standing here like this.
Yes, let's go.
Maybe we should just walk down the street as a group and just point at everybody like we're part of the crowd too.
So, do you want to stick to the main streets, or knowing that you've got to head down here in the merchant street, would you rather be more conspicuous and kind of like cut through some of the back alleys?
Yeah, probably going down back alleys and
Okay, all right.
avoiding constant
Okay.
being seen.
So you're heading down this side street. As you do so, you can you start to smell burning wood and the chemicals of pitch tar. Further down the street, you notice. Let me go ahead and pop you over here. Okay. You become aware there's a house on fire. A small crowd of people is
what
gathered
the fuck?
around a guy that they have lashed and tied to a wooden beam that they have nailed to the house. Once you get there, those people that are kind of observing, it's clear that there are a group of people here. Some of them are directly involved, and others are just morbidly watching the spectacle that is happening. So the mob, several of them are like, "Chaos worshipper, burn him! Look at the mutations, he is one of them!" If all of you can give me a perception test.
Word.
We should take a different route.
I wouldn't walk this way if this was happening.
I don't perceive anything.
I do.
So,
I'm just too involved in the fact that I am like the worst person to be on the street.
all
at this
right,
point in
so
time.
let's see.
What I was
All right, so Oldet and Cadorel, you notice something very particular about this individual.
Oh no.
He does indeed have huge bull horns coming from his head. But they're tied on there. He doesn't. It's clearly not an actual mutation. Somebody has tied these a set of antlers to his head and gagged him as he was And they're all pointing at him, screaming and saying that he is clearly chaos mutated and needs to burn with the den of iniquity that he came out of. And quite a lot of people are quite happy to sit around and watch this spectacle.
This is tricky. We can't afford to make a spectacle of ourselves.
Can we afford to let somebody just die for this?
No.
For what?
But that would be, I think, perhaps your area of expertise.
For
I
the
mean, he
anger
de-
of a crowd.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Bertilda and I noticed the horns, obviously, but don't notice that they're tied.
Yeah.
The perception failed that.
Yeah, I mean, you see that he has got what appears to be
Freaking
from
horns.
Yeah, he's got a set of like a huge set of bull horns that is sprouting out from his head.
Okay.
But more perception can tell that there is
They're not
actually
real.
some
Yeah.
twine that's kind of draped over it and tied around his neck to kind of hold it in place. I mean, clearly he is being gagged so that he can't protest his innocence or anything like that particularly loudly. But the two that seem to be mostly dealing with this is this large, pompous-looking, fairly well-dressed man, and this gentleman over here on this side. This one seems to be screaming accusations of chaos, while this one is taking great delight in agitating the crowd and like getting them to buy into all of this. Like he's like, "Look at the horns," and he's like, "Right, look at his vile, evil horns. Clearly, he is a substance of chaos. He must have drank from the water. Yes, he's one of them. That's for sure." And they're all just kind of like egging this whole concept on that he is obviously tainted by chaos and
I'm
must
sorry.
burn.
How did they hear about the water?
Word must have gotten around. There might have been some legitimate mutations. Oh, if you can't tell, the horns are fake.
Oh, well, I'm gonna start walking up there when he says that.
This is a
Can
political
I
murder.
Quickly, wait, just a moment, please. How quickly could I draw up a pamphlet? I don't know this first character.
Depends what you wanted to say, I suppose, and what sort of pamphlet we're looking at.
I want to make up an organization
Okay.
that seeks out chaos to destroy it.
Ooh,
help
make a
destroy it.
Sigmarian. I got the badge
Okay.
for that.
Give me a name. What's it called?
Gross. Get rid of slimy girl.
I would like to call it. Guys, can you help me come up with a name for
The
that?
Sigmarian Chaos Consultation Group.
Ooh, that's good. The Sigmarian Chaos Consultation Group.
Sigmarian.
Sigmarian
I've
Chaos
got that too.
Consultation
You lean
Group.
on the authority that you're good with, you know?
Well, no, let's not put that, but let's put
The
it
old
back.
SCCG.
Let's just do Chaos Consultation Group.
Okay. The CCG
I don't want
for
to put that
sure.
name because they might ask the church, and I don't really want people chasing me down right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they would have to know how to trace that back to you. It's a big city. We can just draw the Sigmarian symbols on it. They'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's good."
Oh, absolutely. I'm gonna put in there that like it's endorsed by various churches and temples and like
Is that what you're going to put? Endorsed
glowing
by various? Or you...
recommendations. No, I would name them. I would name
Okay,
it
so you're going to put
Sigmarian
Sigma,
as well as
Ulrich, Moore, or whatever. Okay.
And then I would also like put recommendations from people, like people talking about how awesome we are.
Okay.
I don't know if any of these people can read, but I'm quickly writing up like recommendations.
You've
Okay.
done the city a great service, Father Reroll. We're paraphrasing, and it's not the context, but
Absolutely.
it's the same.
We bought a new house. We were fearful that it was infested by chaos, so we called the CCG.
They took
came
one
by
look
and
at the
did a
house and
thorough
we burned it down.
Investigation, and sure enough,
like-
Really appeal to the bloodthirstiness of it all. Be like, like usually our results are we find the chaos and like we, help you destroy it or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
but like
absolutely.
in that way, when in this case it's not, it's like, oh, that's too bad. Maybe next time though.
Yeah, absolutely. We've
I
seen
feel
enough
like-
chaos creatures
I
that we
feel
could
like
even
I have,
draw
like, a-
pictures in there for people.
I feel like we have a maneuver where I see you whip out the pen and paper and I just like get my shield out and like hold it out so you can write on it.
Whatever's being done needs to be done quickly, or Bertilda's gonna step up and do something.
No, dude, I'm brave.
Well, I mean, obviously, so she pulls out her pamphlets and starts doing that. Okay, so while that's going on, what is anybody else choosing to do, if anything?
I'm just gonna look at Nathan and be like, "Can you get the rest of the way there? In the meantime, you probably shouldn't be present in your current state, given the current scenario."
Okay, because I was really thinking just to become a part of the mob, Because why would you single out another person to the mob when, it's egging it on?
Right.
You're not egging it on. This man is being murdered.
I would mumble my words. I wouldn't actually shout loudly.
If he's a part of our group, they're not going to question him if we can sell this well enough.
Yeah, I'm the muscle. I'll look down at myself and be like, I'm not strong enough to be the muscle.
Barely able to hold his head up with his metal helm on. His head keeps flopping down.
Yeah, I'm gonna end this
corgi puppy.
I'm gonna end this story with like a severe hunchback. I swear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the house is. The house is clearly, it's on fire. So that every moment that you take, the house is burning more and more.
I'm keeping an eye on that. I'm gonna go before it reaches him. I hope.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah.
the goal.
Okay.
I think we're being mindful of it.
All right.
If it takes too long, I'm not doing this. I'm just gonna go talk.
Okay. Yeah. It takes as long as it would. It probably takes you maybe a minute to scratch up this pamphlet.
Okay.
So
Yeah. As we approach, I'm going to make a big point of showing that I'm putting on my leather gloves.
While you do that, this guy does run over and kick him really hard in the nuts. And they all cheer and gleefully clap. At which point this guy then takes out a small kosh and goes up and whacks him right across the side of the face, and they all cheer. And clearly now they're starting to get more brave, and the mob itself is now starting to turn on him and is beginning to act out actions of violence against the chaos.
No.
Odette, Bertilda, I will be a part of the mob, but I'll support you when you make your claims, I'll be the voice of reason within their insanity.
Okay.
I'm going to give a thumbs up and wander over here behind, kind of cross my shoulders.
Okay.
Cross my arms.
All right, so you wander over, and as you're in Kaba's watch him burn! Watch him burn! The fires of justice will destroy him and his house of unholy, evil, vile chaos and iniquity. Kill him!
Iniquity.
Okay.
So I finished my pamphlet.
Well, before you do that, once you get over there, Shaggy, is there anything you want to do, say, or whatever?
I'm gonna look to see who in the crowd is the most bloodthirsty, ardent support. They're all kind of screaming, but is there one who's blood-eyed, blood-crazed, I won't listen to reason whatsoever, no matter what's said? That's who I'm looking for. That.
Give me a perception roll.
Super instigator,
The super instigator, the agitator of the group.
Yeah, they're Odette.
Odette is this person here.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's
You have eyes.
So yeah, it would clearly see that this guy, and probably these two that have already stepped up,
Done the
they're clearly invested. This older guy, he seems to have, he's keeping his distance a bit from the main group. He's just watching it happen. This woman here, she is also not really right up in it, but still close enough to be able to, she wants to hear what's going on. She wants to hear all the accusations and stuff. The guy you're standing next to, it's not that he's bloodthirsty, but he seems impatient. He's like,
Right. Okay. Shit. All right.
Oh, this crowd.
And you rolled really well. Okay. He also keeps glancing over his shoulders and looking behind him, and down the side streets. Okay. So you've noticed that. Aldette, you have your pamphlet.
Okay. I'm going to walk up with as much authority as my little height can muster and draw as much attention as I can, marching in. I know, guys,
All right,
but I
move
have
yourself
a
to where
really
you
plan
big
to be.
presence.
No, we're with you, man.
We're backing you up as
I
you
have
walk
a
up. I'm
huge
assuming.
presence.
All right,
I'm
yeah.
going to walk, and I'm gonna like try to step in right here.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and push through 'em.
Push in between those two.
Yes.
And get right here. You can already feel the warmth coming off the house. It must be pretty uncomfortable at this point for the guy strapped to the wall.
Yeah, I was gonna get.
And you can notice
up close to
beads
him.
of sweat are now pouring down his face, and he is kind of like really starting to look very distressed. Okay,
was
so you
gonna
get there,
head
you
up
spin
there.
around. Okay,
as well.
the large
Just backing up.
pompous guy says, "Out the way! This is no place for small children. Move!"
What's going on here?
He goes, "Can you not see? He is one of those that has been tainted by chaos from one of the tainted veils. We are merely enacting the city's justice upon this vile chaos culprit.
How many tainted individuals have you ever seen?
Have you not been here in the city this last 24 hours?
Oh, I have
Dozens
been in
of
the city.
sightings have been seen.
have
Allegedly,
been in the city, and
the
I know
rumor
the
says that
difference.
the wells have been poisoned. Something happened to the wells, and some people have drunk from the wells and have grown mutations and tentacles. And like this vile creature here, he is becoming a beast man.
Oh yes, I can see clearly. And I'm going to look at Cattle Rail.
I'm gonna
like-
nod.
Can you please see if these are true chaos mutations here, please?
Just yeah. I mean, I'll take my glove and like snap it, basically. Go
This
up
guy
close,
will kind of
protect myself from it.
This guy will deliberately kind of will run and wedge himself between you, and he goes, "You have
I'm gonna
no
push him into the
authority
house.
here. Be
Oh
gone."
yes, we do. I'm going to pull out my pamphlet and be like, we are a part of the Chaos Consultation Group. We are here to actually investigate sightings of chaos mutations.
You wouldn't want senseless
What authority are you
murders.
here for? Do you have any authority to be here?
We are the wronged masses.
You are the wronged masses,
The gods
yes.
cannot possibly defend this city against all the mutations. It is every Middenheimer's right and duty since the war to put chaos to the fires of justice wherever we see them.
True chaos. Yes.
And this beast, is vile to his very core.
Well, if he is, then you would not mind me investigating. As
There
that
is no
my
need to
purpose in
investigate.
being here.
Be gone, all of you.
This
And
is
then
my purpose in being
this
here.
guy turns to the mob and says, "Are you really going to stand here and let these chaos sympathizers prevent you from gaining justice?" And they're all like,
Sympathizers.
"No, no!
I have
Get
killed
out!
more
Move
chaos."
aside! Move aside!"
From the back, you just hear that pamphlet looks real. Respect the pamphlets.
I have
If you'll excuse
more
me, we're
chaos
here
than
under
you have
authority.
ever seen. It would terrify you to truly see what chaos is.
He says, "We have seen it. We have lived here in the city.
I have seen creatures made from blood that spout venom and poison to melt
And we
your
have
face.
witnessed giant chaos war machines throw fire against the very city. Only a few years ago, we have seen hordes of beastmen, giant winged demons, led by Archon himself in the sieges.
Yes, and,
And
you
I've
might
seen
handle
fine
that.
chaos
twine
is when
tying
we see
horns
it.
to a man. I've
Because
definitely
we have-
seen twine around those horns, tying them to the man. This isn't really actually an effect of chaos. You've seen what true chaos looks like. I need you to back off. I'm with the church. I'm gonna pull out my axe.
When you pull your axe out, go ahead and give me an intimidate roll.
Yes.
I'm really, really good at intimidation. I need a 15 here.
The fact that you are armed and he is not will give you a +10.
Okay. Still not
Probably
very-
still not enough.
No, I'm not.
Oh.
Clearly, you are not.
Ah, shoot.
Okay,
I'm using it.
He
I'm
doesn't
using
back
it.
off, but he does raise his hands and says, "You would not resort to violence against a mere citizen trying to defend the city, surely."
No, I would use this axe to cut down another citizen who's being violently acted upon by other citizens.
But
Those
you are
aren't real
mistaken.
horns.
He
While
is a
they're
vile and
distracted-
evil man.
While they're distracted, could I climb up there and try to untie him?
The people that are this far back are not going to be so distracted that they wouldn't see you start to do it.
They can see
You
me.
can try to do it by all means, but whether or not anybody will react to that. You won't know until you try it.
I'm gonna try it.
Okay. So yeah, if you're gonna go over and start to attempt to untie that, this guy, the agitator. Let me move you a fraction so I don't pick him up. Over there, picked him. Okay. He will start to scream at the top of his lungs. This is what it has come to! Some mutations affect the minds to where they just become sympathetic to the cause. Look at these people trying to stop us enacting justice!
There's also mutations that make you yell.
And,
I'm going to try to rip
there are
the
definitely
ones off.
quite a few other people hearing that and starting to kind of move in your direction now.
I will turn and be like, would you like to kill an innocent person and find out later that you are in party with chaos, trying to cause chaos in this city by killing an innocent?
This woman screams, regardless of chaos horns or not, this man is far from innocent. He ruined my husband's business with his unreasonable demands for loan payments.
Oh, I see what it is about. This is about trying to get revenge on someone that you don't like. You're using the chaos of the city to get revenge. Is that what this city is coming to?
That's exactly what the city's been all about.
This is exactly what chaos wants.
This
don't
large
want
gentleman says, See, poor woman. The poor woman is delusional. She does not know what she's talking about. Woman, good woman, do not stay here and witness this horrible action anymore. Be gone, good woman.
This is about revenge on an innocent. This is what chaos wants in your city, and it is succeeding because you are following along with it.
This guy then steps forward and he says, she is not wrong. He is a disgusting cad of a man, a loan shark who preys on the good nature of those that cannot afford to make ends meet. He offers them money
chaos mutated?
And raises the rates to be unpayable.
But is he chaos mutated? I am not here to enact justice from him.
Anybody so cruel as to destroy the livelihoods of hard-working people and rob them from their homes. That is a form of chaos. Do not tell me it is not.
It's
I
not.
am not here to look at the justice system of the city. I am here because I am a part of the Chaos Consultation Group. And I am stopping the spread of chaos, which you are encouraging.
Okay, so at this point, this old fellow has kind of turned away and rather nonchalantly is trying to sneak away from the group to not really be part of it anymore. It's like, this has gone maybe further than I want to be involved. Unless anybody wants to stop him, he is just going to disappear off into the streets.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's what's needed.
These two have kind of moved in a little closer. This guy has shuffled up a fraction, but is still keeping a good distance. This guy then says, you may be from this organization that you claim to represent, but do you really think you can stop us, the entire mob?
Do you really think that you are not supporting chaos right now? Just because you have fancy words and are able to speak loudly, you think people should follow you?
Yes. People do not do this because it's what I wish them to do. They do it
They
because,
do it because it's
it
what
is
you
what
wish
they
them.
want to do.
No, it's because you were able to spin your words in a way. I know. I recognize your type.
I type? I type?
Yes.
What is that supposed to mean?
You thrive in the chaos and you start to rile up crowds against people. You start to... Oh, are you being paid? by
Okay, you
someone?
hear a loud crack from inside the house, and a large section of the roof goes and drops in, and there's suddenly a influx of flames comes up from the center.
Okay,
Matilda.
seeing that, I'm just making my way through everybody.
I would call you. Yeah, I would call
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna like bulldoze through.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
grab the
getting this guy
agitator.
down.
I'm gonna grab the agitator and pull him back from the house. Just be like, for your safety.
Okay.
Back.
He'll kind of like half-heartedly go and then like shrug you off, but he's not gonna like try to actually hit you or physically resist you. More like just get off me type stuff. As you kind of
Oh
pull
no,
him
I mean
back.
like I'm grappling him and throwing him behind me. Yeah. Like,
Okay,
I don't.
in that case, if you're gonna grapple him, then yeah, he might resist you.
I don't want him anywhere near the building because it's on fire, and also there's a guy there who we need to get away from the fire, and he doesn't like that.
So
Yeah, I'm just moving him as far as I logically can at this point.
But once you kind of like got him behind you and away from that guy, you're not going to like physically try to hold him down or restrain him?
No,
Or
I'm not in the
okay, in that
interest of-
case, yeah, he'll just kind of like roughly push himself away from you and protest loudly, but he won't actually try to strike you or anything.
How is he attached to this thing?
His wrists are tied to it with twine, ironically the same sort of twine that you can see that's actually wrapped around these horns that are going down and tied around the base of his neck.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hatchet off the back one, like the back of it.
Okay.
I mean, I'll catch him as he comes down.
Yeah, I mean, with the heat up here now, he is almost to the point of exhaustion, so he will collapse off of here unless you catch him.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna catch him. I'm gonna drape him over my shoulder.
Right, this guy here is pointing at you now and screaming to the crowd as well.
Yeah, that's where I step in.
Sympathizers! They are sympathizers!
I'm gonna pull off the horns.
Okay, you snatch them off.
Can I tie these to your head and see if they will put you up against this house?
I'd actually try to put him to sleep. The second he starts in from the back.
Okay, go ahead.
I'd
Sleeps.
channel
Sleeps.
and
Fireball.
so there's that.
Yep, channel is successful.
Gosh, you're rolling so well today.
I know it's all gonna. Thank you. You just jinxed it.
Now you've jinxed it.
So this is to see if it's because it's a touch attack. It's a touch thing. So I have to channel. Okay, so I click. And I have a +20 on my two hits.
If you're using touch attacks, yes.
Yeah. So first I roll to see if it succeeded. You'll see that in a second.
When eventually the macro plays catch up.
Right.
And it did not.
Oh Jesus Christ.
So you just basically went up and poked a guy.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Okay. But you just kind of poke him. He turns around and kind of looks at you and says, "Are you okay with this?" He goes, "Maybe the horns aren't real, but the truth of the matter, this is a horrible, terrible man. It is the perfect time for us to do away with such a vicious criminal that avoids capture and operates on the very threshold of the law, paying off those that should put him
Bless
behind
you.
bars.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Gets
thought I was
away with
muted.
these vile crimes. He is a despicable moneylender.
Sir, you are participating in murder.
I am watching.
No, you are instigating murder. That is just as bad, if not worse, because you expect to not get punished for it because you're a part of a mob.
Well, give me a let's see.
Give me a smart guy.
He
roll.
went from trying to put him to sleep to just like.
Well, yeah, all this guy knows. is
Shame
the
on
guy-
you.
He probably thinks
Listen.
like he went up and tapped him on the shoulder is more like what he thinks.
Yeah, right.
Give me a charm roll.
Exactly it.
Oh, charm. Oh, no.
Does he get a bonus from the nose?
No, because you can't see the nose.
No, that's not happening. Oh, so close, too.
I feel like he should have gotten a bonus because I'm yelling at them all.
So,
No,
yeah, as
yeah, okay.
he kind of looks at you and he says, "It is clearly for nothing now, anyway." And then he says, "Still, at least the fire burned nicely, yes?" And at
is
that
a-
point, he's going to turn around and kind of like waves his arm at the whole instance and just kind of wanders away.
Yeah, as he wanders away, I'm going to be like, it is a beautiful fire.
Right, this old guy at this point just shakes his head and he starts to wander off. Okay, at that, the woman now has reached a new height of frenzy. She will actually rush forward and kind of grab hold of Oldette, unless you wish to do anything to prevent it.
Oh my.
I would.
I'm gonna probably let the guy that I have on my shoulder fall off, and I'm gonna walk up and put my hand in her face. And say, you don't want to do that.
He kind of falls off, and then he'll like put one arm down and like push himself up into like a half lane, half perch position, and clearly He is, as I said,
Yeah,
pretty much exhausted.
I've already cut him down.
Okay,
so I'll
as
be
soon as she
supporting
goes
him.
over to grab him, she goes, "You don't understand. This vile excuse for a moneylender. He lured my husband in, offering him such low repayments, and then suddenly he brings forth this contract that says he had to pay all this money back within such a short period of time. We protested. We tried to go to the law, but they said it was a legally binding contract. But my husband never signed it. It was forgery. We lost everything, my entire bakery. My husband took his own life in desperation, for he felt he was no use as a husband or a father. He is responsible."
I sympathize with this predicament that you're in. But as I mentioned, I am here only to find the chaos mutations.
But in
And
your
in
efforts
doing
to
this,
in your efforts to stop that, you are allowing such a vile man to go free.
and in your efforts to try to take revenge upon this man, you are embracing the chaos of the city.
And so
Chaos
what?
rejoices.
So perhaps chaos is the right answer. If chaos would allow us to destroy such a monster.
I'm gonna need to check her for mutations.
I'm gonna hand her the horns. I'm gonna hand her like the horns that are tied together and be like, "Well, then here you go. You can tie these to your head and embrace the chaos you wish."
She kind of looks at them and just throws them to the side, and then she'll just like turn around and push her way through the crowd and run off screaming.
When she runs by,
Dude,
when
you
she
killed that. Ah.
when she runs by me, I'm just gonna have my helm up and my mask down and go boom. Show my nose.
Okay.
Give her a little extra fear as she runs by me.
In her hysteria, she probably would just let out a louder scream and carry on running.
I'm gonna cover up again.
As the crowd is now dispersing, this guy grabs hold of this guy by the shirt and says, "Come on, this is over." And he's like, "I would have loved to see him burn. I would have loved to see him burn." He says, "If we stay here much longer, we will be the ones that burn. This house is about to collapse at any minute. Let's get out of here. We have done all that we can. There are other interesting things going on in the city that we can be part of." "Yes, I agree. Let us go." And then they kind of head off in this direction.
What if the Skaven is the folks we meet along the way?
So at this point, now clearly they have no mob support. Those that are left finally just say, "Nothing, no reason to stay here anymore. Come along, let us go home to safety before other chaos rears its head." And then finally this large pompous fellow who's like the last to vacate the area just says, "I hope you are happy. I hope you can sleep at night, knowing that you have allowed such a vile, despicable destroyer of lives to escape the justice that he should have received, even though he knows how to pay off and bribe his way out of every single situation where he has been attempted to be brought to justice before. This would have been the perfect opportunity for us to get rid of this man. But no."
I sleep well at night, knowing that chaos does not reign supreme because we have given in to it.
He says, "Chaos is in this city. It has been in this city since the war. It has never left. Now it is becoming more and more prevalent. You will mark my words. You will not be the first or the last one that you see with horns, but the next one that you see with horns, the horns will be real. They will be real."
If they
Hope
were
so,
real,
because that's
I
our
would
job,
almost
is
stop
to find
this.
that. That's a nice shirt, by the way. How did you afford it?
I am a merchant of some wealth.
Oh, so you didn't take out a loan or anything. Then what's your interest in?
And he starts to wander off.
That was a great tag team.
As he wanders off, the exhausted man has just enough breath to say, "It's inevitable. You will have to pay me You have failed! Your schemes here have failed! I will rue you! I will destroy you and your family! I will come after your brother and your grandchildren!
I'm gonna nudge him really hard in the ribs with my foot and say, "It's quiet time now. You need to stop talking."
Okay, yeah, that'll bring him to a very short... and he will shut up.
Honestly, you'd think you would have learned your lesson to have this many people against you in the city right now.
Yes. I am just a businessman. I don't make them take out the loans. If they could not afford to pay me back, they should not have borrowed the funds.
Yes,
but
if you look at the city and the crowd that came against you, they will come again and we will not always be here.
It is but look, I am ruined. I am now ruined too. All of my documents, they know what they were doing. All of the contracts, all of the promissory notes, they have gone up in flames. I have no proof that all these people owe me funds and money. This is why they were trying to destroy me.
I mean,
with your reputation, I'm sure you could start a new thing.
I mean, you just might have to take out a loan for yourself.
With what as collateral? Everything I owned went up in flames. Flames!
Then perhaps it's time to find
I do not even have a shirt.
I mean, go to another loan shark in the city to get a loan to get your own business startup again.
Have you considered mercenary work? It might suit you.
Yeah, I honestly don't give a damn what you do. It sounds like you already ruined a bunch of people's lives. The way that you got away with your life,
well,
maybe justice was served.
But
we've got other stuff to do. I don't want to sit here and listen to this asshole.
I thank you so much for saving me. It is I will remember all of you, yes. And when I find myself back to prevalence, should you ever need a loan, I would give you incredibly good rates.
Just know that some of us can read, and I'm gonna walk away.
Okay. All right. Yeah. He will,
I'm not one of them, but
he'll kind of crawl away.
Say anything about
He'll
that.
crawl away from the flames and then kind of just like turn around and watch his home and livelihood crackle, crackle, burn, burn. As you guys kind of leave. I mean, no sooner have you started to walk away from him, but you've noticed a few of the onlookers have reappeared and peering around the sides of buildings.
yeah, staying out there's probably not in his best interest, but I think I'm done with him.
We've done what we're supposed to.
We stopped the murder. We're good. Let's leave.
I'm gonna need it again. I'm gonna tuck that in my bag.
Okay, yeah, you might need it again.
In case we need to stop another murder.
Okay. Right, so you're going to continue down the streets towards the armory. This is not the only scene of this sort of thing that you're going to see. As you're walking down the streets, you're going to witness like a couple of footpads kicking the crap of some old geezer and robbing him blind.
The fuck?
You'll see, you kind of see this woman throwing stuff out of an upstairs window with this man pleading below. Like, but it was always there. I've always had that vault. I cannot believe you've never seen it before. It has been there since I was a child. No! You're chaos mutated! I knew it! My mother always said that I should not marry you! Get out of here! Go take your things and go, you disgusting chaos monster!
Oh my god, we rested for a day!
Hey, it only took a day for people to drink from wells. You did not think that your small, tiny group would be able to stop every single well from possibly not being contaminated?
And it was 2 days.
And you took a while.
And we didn't hear anything.
No, that's what happens when you're convalesced up in a nice, big, secure temple. And because everybody of any worth tries to downplay anything, they really weren't discussing much behind, like in open doors or corridors down in the temple itself. But never mind, you know now. Yep. So yeah, you can pass all of that tomfoolery Shortly after that, you see a small girl will kind of like come running in the same direction as you, and then looking like to the left, looking to the right, seeming to be very, very distressed. She darts down a side alley, kind of like to the right. At that point, 4 of the town guards kind of come charging in the same direction. They stop and look. One of them looks at you and says, "Which way did she go?" And then, let me put you on the map so you can see what I'm about to... Oh, I already did. Okay.
It's dark for us.
Yeah, I've got to reveal the area.
I just want my armor core.
That's fine. You'll get it eventually. Maybe one day.
We're going to be dead before we get there.
Unfortunately, the goings-on in the city do not stop for those wanting to collect
No.
armor. Yeah, so you see the little girl kind of run... let me find the... Yeah, she kind of like comes down here and then shoots down this side alley. The 4 guards you see kind of run down here. One of them stops and points at you and says, "Which way did you go?" And then this guy that's kind of sitting on one of these crates over here goes, "Down the alley! Down the alleyway!" And then you see the 4 guards nod and run down the alley. As they do so, and they start to pull out weapons.
Oh.
Happening.
The people are bloodthirsty, and that's what's happening.
But these are guards,
Are
and
they
it was a
speaking to
child.
her, or
Hold on a second. I don't want that. Let me just find what I'm looking for. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, as you kind of go around the corner, the small girl, who is probably 8, 9, 10 at the most, kind of dirty, is up against the wall at this point and frantically looking to the left and the right. 3 of the guards are fanned out along the back and have kind of got their hands... 2 of them have just got their hands on their weapons with one hand out. The one on the far right has already gotten his cudgel, and the one who has moved his way to the front is actually holding his pike in a threatening manner. And you hear him say, "Easy now there, lass. Just calm down. We're not going to hurt you. We're not going to hurt you."
They have a funny way of showing that.
Are all these weapons here necessary?
But
It's a little girl.
Okay. You're going to kind of yell that to one of the watchmen.
Yeah.
Alrighty. He kind of like, without looking, just raises his hand and says, "This is official business. Do not interfere. You do not want to get into trouble."
I might want to get into trouble. It depends on what you define as trouble here.
He says,
for the record, official business is our business.
"Well, this is official watch business," says one of the others. He says, "It is necessary for us to apprehend this young mutant."
Mutant.
Okay. She's like, she starts to like, her bottom lips begins to quiver and, and just, it looks like utter desperation, doesn't seem to know what she's, what to say or how to react. He says,
She's not acting like any mutant I've ever seen.
He says, "Well, there have been accusations, and some things that we have seen as we were trying to apprehend her would back up those accusations. She, indeed, may look like a young, innocent girl from the outside, but there are aspects to her that are far from innocent."
So
If
has
she was a
backbone?
mutant, you wouldn't be trying to chase her to apprehend her. She would be coming at you.
He says, "Not all mutants are of aggression. No, she is too young. She has yet to grow into her vileness. But trust us, if she was left to be roaming the streets. As she grew, so the evil inside her, the chaos inside her would grow. And then we would have a much more dangerous problem. Better to apprehend them and make sure that they are seen and, if at all possible, their mortal souls saved before they have time to do harm to the city. These two guys are both just watching gleefully at what's going on.
What exactly can this little girl do to hurt the city? I mean, she can barely walk. I mean, she's so tiny, you know.
She has the power to go invisible. She tried it once. She flickered and disappeared before our very eyes. And then rematerialized.
That's called blinking, sir.
It is. Again, we are on official watch business. Do not try to interfere. You do not want to get yourselves into trouble. I understand what it may look like, but this is far more sinister than you are aware.
It's called blinking, Sage. Jesus Christ. That's so good.
If you want to apprehend someone, it's probably best to, especially a child, make sure she knows that you're not trying to ruin her. She probably would cooperate if you were more friendly about this.
Yeah, like get the spear out of her face.
There is no cooperation from such creatures. If given the opportunity,
Children?
she would escape. No.
I mean, I agree.
We must apprehend her. Now,
I mean-
stay there, child, and you will not be hurt.
Not for nothing, but I would try to get away from you too if you was chasing after me with weapons.
This guy here then says, "It's no wonder they protest. They were with her, you know. We saw them."
Oh,
Okay.
shut up.
I'm gonna need you to shut your face. This isn't about you.
He goes, "What? I witnessed it. I witnessed the whole thing. You were down that back alley. You were with her. You were one of those. You were one of the group that was there. I know this because I saw the man with the big golden ram's horn. I said to my friend, look, he looks like somebody of chaos, doesn't I? He said, oh, yes, you did. You said to me, he looks just like somebody of chaos. Yes, him right there. Look at that helm. Who else would wear such a helm? Brilliantly embracing chaos, trying to look like a beast man.
People who are hunting
You
down
really
chaos.
want to stop talking right now.
What? I am just telling the gods the truth. Oh, what, you go to attack me now? You go to murder me?
Bitch, I might. Be
Amen.
quiet.
With that, this guard now has turned around and said, hang on a minute. So, is what this man says true? You've seen this child before? Is this why you wish to protect this chaos creature from being apprehended?
Are you kidding me right now?
We just came from the literal opposite direction. How could we have seen her if we
I do
came
not
from
know
the...
what direction you came from. He goes, no, the child
believe-
doubled back through this way. She was with them over here. We stood here
They
the
were
entire
If you
time.
chasing
were
her. They know
following
where she
child,
was, you
would have
idiot.
seen us.
Well, no, they blink, and apparently when they blink, they lost track of her.
The child disappeared. They told you. She went invisible.
Yes, and you've been chasing her. You would have seen us. We haven't gone invisible.
We would not
Did you see
necessarily
us?
have seen you. There was numerous times that she slipped past us.
Did you
And
see?
Okay, Mr.
I do
Guardman, what if
recall
I
at
told
some
you I
point
saw
she did
these two
run
guys
through a large crowd of people.
trying to set a dude on fire back there? Like, why are you taking their word for it?
I'm gonna pull out my pamphlet again
Okay.
and be like, look, I know they mean well, but we are a part of the Chaos Consultation Group. We are here to hunt down chaos. We are here to try to rid it of this city.
The Chaos Consultation Group. I have not heard of this organization before.
Yes, we are not from the city. We have come in town
Oh,
recently.
then you have no authorization here in the city.
Well, we
We
know
are
you're-
members, official members of the City Watch, and at that point, he
And
pulls
we
out
have
a
helped-
We
wrist,
have been invited.
kind of like the one that you've seen before, that one that gave you the Empower with the same
Gosh, I
logo
wish
and
I
everything on
could
it.
Wait, one of us has the thing. They gave us a thing. One of you has a thing. I know that you got a thing. Show
Well,
it
a
to
few
them.
of us have things.
Well, at one point, you all had one of those little writs.
They did take them
tried-
But he
back, I
took
think.
those
They
back.
took them back, and I tried to.
No, I'm talking
Redress
about when I got the thing where I can turn into a squire next. One of you got a badge.
That
would be Cad.
Yeah, no,
Cad got the little wolf's head.
Yeah, I have
all the badges.
Aryan badge. I have a wolf's head badge and
Sigmar.
With the distraction going on, this guy here like lunges forward and grabs the girl. He goes, "Ha! I have her!" And she's like, "Ah!" and starts to scream. He's like, "Stop struggling, Zara! Stop struggling! Don't struggle!"
I mean, they're
And
not
he kind of
hurting
lifts her
him.
up off the ground so that he can't get away. But he's like gripped her with one arm very, very tightly.
Well, that'll do it then.
There, you have apprehended her. You can put your weapons away.
I just
He says,
didn't want
"Not
to see
so
blood.
fast. We apprehended her on accusations that she was involved in chaos, and we witnessed certain things that turned out to be true.
Yes. As you
Right.
said.
You have now been accused of chaos
I
and
accuse
being
you of
in league
chaos.
with her. So,
We've worked with your commander.
We have.
We've
also worked
helped
with
the
2 of
city.
churches.
This baseless accusation is ridiculous.
and if it is a baseless accusation, this man will be dealt with.
Very well. Let us all walk down to the watch commander's office, and we will talk with him personally.
He is a very busy man. We do not have time
Yes.
for such things.
And we also had
But,
an acquaintance with him. We have helped him, and he has told us that we can come see him when we need a favor.
Well,
sent by
under
Father
normal
Reynolds
circumstances,
himself.
I'm sure this would be fine. But where he is in the city right now, I have no idea. Do you not see the chaos that we are facing?
Then
We
let's
are-
go to his office and wait.
Yes, well, before we do that, if you do not mind, clearly, as this man is making an idle, chaotic boast, it would not take just a moment for us to use the necessary methods to inspect each of you, and you can go on your way.
How can you inspect us if this girl turned invisible and that was her chaos mutation? There's no way to tell for certain, is there?
There is not, but we definitely have certain things that we are able to do to spot obvious chaos mutations.
Like wood.
Well, first of all, if each of you would just show us your ears so we can make sure that they are not violently Look, his ears are pointed!
For fuck's sake.
I'm an elf. He's also an elf. You've never seen an elf.
But this guard kind of comes over and
I'll go up to meet him.
gets real close.
I'm an
It's
elf.
true, they do look very elven. Can you just pull your hood back for me?
Okay. Yep,
Alright.
there it is.
Why don't we go to the Church of Ulfric and talk to the priest there? We were there for the past couple of days, resting.
This is
Alright.
ridiculous.
Well, the chaos apparently was brewing.
He says, do you have any warts? Black marks?
I'm an
Burst
elf.
marks, perhaps?
Oh,
This is such a waste of time.
this is a waste of time, and we had needed in other parts of the city.
Then cooperate, and we will be done much
We
faster.
are cooperated. Let us go now. You have checked our ears.
We have not checked your ears. We have not possibly finished with this investigation. All we have to do is a couple of other things. Just answer the question. Do you have any warts or birthmarks?
Do you?
Let me check my character sheet. Yeah, I got one right here.
So, is that what you're going to say? Yes, I've got one. And
Well,
show
no,
it?
you did the
No,
middle,
no.
middle finger. You weren't looking, Gar, but he did the middle finger.
Okay. He says,
Actually, yeah, there's one right at the orifice where the shit comes out. If you want to take a good long look there.
Wow.
no,
what
no,
an elf.
can you remove your gloves so we can check your fingers to make sure you do in fact have 5?
Wow, missing fingers are considered a chaos mutation to you?
No, but extra fingers,
That would be
and
such a
your
shitty
feet, are they
chaos
cloven?
mutation. Of all the things that I could get, an extra finger could be one.
Yeah, but I'm really tired from the day. If you want to untie my boots for me, that'd be great.
No, we'll just, and he kind of reaches down and just presses on the boots. I'm feeling toes! Very well. Now you, my dear, you're very small. Were you always this small?
Yes, I have always been this. Well, I was smaller once, when I was a child.
And what about you? Do you have any strange distinguishing marks that we should be aware of? I can see that you are not wearing gloves and you have all of your fingers. Do you have all of your toes? You have cloven hooves?
I'm a little concerned.
Stick out your
that
tongue.
this
Do you
is-
have a forked tongue, perhaps?
If this is his vetting process, I'm afraid that they may be having people who actually have chaos mutations.
I'm
get
afraid
away.
that is the case because this is such a ridiculous way of checking.
They're
for
aspiring
chaos
witch
mutations.
hunters, I swear.
Oh, we do need to meet with the witch hunters.
Yeah, we do need to get with our meeting with the Order Fidelis, yeah.
No, I do not have any marks of chaos. My feet are not cloven. I have all of my fingers and all of my toes. Is that all? Can
We're
I
in
go
league
now?
with witch hunters. This is so absurd.
We are late for our meeting here.
So this guy then walks over to Bertilda. What about you? Do you have any extra fingers? Forked tongue?
I mean, I can't count or read.
Raise your
so-
fingers. Let me count them for you. I can count. And your toes? There are not cloven hooves beneath those sturdy boots that you use?
Not last time I checked.
All right, let's
Really
go. This
quick.
is over.
Just a really quick check, Gore. The windows on this house, are there any in this alcove?
Yes, there are.
Damn, okay. You can't just kill these guys.
I'm gonna start walking off.
Alright, so he goes, well, and lastly, what about you, my good friend? Just remove
Let's
your
go,
helm and
we
we
are
will
late
make
for our
sure that
meeting.
you are fine.
With all the chaos, and I am afraid to breathe free, fresh air. So
Everybody else is breathing free.
You
Yes,
got the vax.
he's got a condition though.
Oh, really? And with
Why
that,
do
they're
you
all
think
like,
he wanders around with the helmet on all the time? It's to protect his health.
it's an autoimmune disorder.
And this guy yells out, or is it because he loves Beastmen?
No, we got it from the corpse of a beastman we murdered.
It's
Jesus
true.
Christ.
It was a beastman that was accusing us of chaos.
Wait,
This is
so you have adorned items that were born by the substance of chaos.
Well,
No,
no one.
this one was on his hip, but you know, he wasn't wearing it.
It was his codpiece.
I'm afraid we are going to have to ask you to remove the helm.
Bullshit, we're leaving.
If you attempt to leave, you will be arrested. All you have to do, if you have nothing to hide, remove the helm. And
Alright,
you will be
so-
free to go.
Shit, I do have the mask over my nose, so I am going to remove the helm part. So you see the elven ears.
Okay.
And unfortunately, the fucking pock marks that I have.
All
because
over your
I
face.
have.
Well,
pock
and the
marks.
fact that the mask does kind of stick out like this because there's a pig nose underneath it.
Are you happy you've embarrassed my friend here?
He's the ugliest goddamn elf I've ever met.
Yes, can I put this on again? I'm very, very. Well, here's the truth. I'm in love with her, and I'm going to point at Bertilda. And I don't think she loves me back, and I was really trying to, woo her over with my personality.
It
has to be the personality. He's ugly
by
as
wearing
sin.
a big beastman helm, I think you have a very misunderstood understanding of women.
Hey, don't tell me what I can and can't like, mister.
You find this man attractive?
I didn't say that, but I'm not letting you tell me what to do.
I'm going to start to cry. Crocodile tears.
I'm gonna grab the helmet and put
Give me
it
a
on
charm
him and
roll.
like hug
Give me
him.
a charm roll.
Oh, shit. Who, me?
Yeah, you. You're crying to win the sympathy of a guard. Give me a charm roll.
Oh, no.
While he's crying, I'm just gonna put the helmet back on him and pat his head.
I'm going to use a point.
Okay.
This is
My crocodile tears are real. No, they're not. Shit.
You
Okay.
rolled worse.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be particularly won over by your tears. He said, "You're trying to put the helm back on him."
yeah. I was just like patting
He
him
says,
on the head.
and
Just
where
like,
did
poor
you
lad.
get all those disgusting, hideous scars on your face?
That
Holy
was.
shit. Ableist much. Get away from him.
I was born this way.
Oh my god. Check it.
He just
Can I
had
burst
bad
out?
child
Can I burst out into song? Fucking-
Like
He
you
is.
burst into song.
Yeah, Lady Gaga. I was born this way. No.
Just show him your hands and feet, and we can go.
So yeah, I am going to show my hands, obviously.
Okay.
I was born this way. It was just birth. Yeah, I didn't choose it.
Well,
unfound reason.
But you do say that this mask of yours, you took it from a beast man and chose to wear it.
The helm.
Have you felt any different? Have you felt more angry, more depressed, more
In the past 15
murderous
minutes?
since you adorned this helm?
Well, no, I've felt more confident in my.
When did you adorn the helm? How long ago?
Well, you put it on at the church, didn't you?
I mean, I had it on during the church, yeah.
No,
And how long ago was this?
this morning.
I mean, I've had it on and off for the past better part of the week.
We need a character reference. Shall we go to the church and get one of those since we've done work for them as well?
The church is far too far away from here. We
Then
don't have
what-
time for such things.
We don't have time.
Oh,
to
you
spend
don't
there.
have
We're late
time.
for our
No, we
meeting.
have to escort this small child to the city watch.
When he says we don't have time, I'm just going to
Very
be like,
well.
neither do we. And I'm going to turn around and start walking away.
Stay where you are, or you'll be under
We should
arrest.
check. I believe
Then
we should
arrest
check
me.
men as well.
I've
Well,
not had
don't-
enough of these guys.
Then
No.
I'm afraid you are under arrest.
For what?
Resisting arrest?
Why
She's
would
not
you arrest me?
resisting
You
arrest.
checked me already.
I'm not arresting you because you are chaos. I'm arresting you for resisting arrest.
But why were you arresting me to begin with?
I wasn't. I said if you continue to walk away, you would be under arrest, and you said, so go ahead and arrest me. So I am.
But
you have no reason for me to stay here.
You- does-
You checked me out. I will now go on my way because you're
Yeah.
wasting my time.
And
Exactly.
if you leave, as I said, you are arrested.
That's
You are
not a reason.
permitted
You
to
can't
leave.
arrest
We have
somebody
not
for
dismissed
that.
you.
Sir,
You are still under detention from the city watch.
You can't arrest me for anything.
I can arrest you for anything. I have the power. It says so right here.
This is ridiculous.
Hey, can we get
Yeah,
that read
exactly.
really quick? Can you read that? Can you read that out loud for me, sir?
Read what?
Where it says you can arrest
The
me
thing
for
that says that
nothing.
you can arrest us whenever you want. Can you read that for me, sir?
I can.
You
Okay.
can read. Oh.
Let me see. Where's my spectacle?
Oh my god.
So you can't read.
To all
It's a
backers
mutation,
and
you
others
can't.
of the city of Middenheim, be it known that this bearer of this document has full authority as a business of the city watch, specifically in all matters resolved to suspicion of chaos. They are to be regarded as having full authority of the city watch, and according to be shown every courtesy and rendered every assistance and obeyed
This
Conscript.
makes so much
in the
more
performance
sense.
of their tasks given
They're
by
not
my
truly the
hand,
watch.
Ulrich Schutzmann.
They're not truly the watch. They're just conscripted for the service because of the chaos of the city.
No,
Oh,
no,
so
we
we
are,
don't
we
have
are
to
watchmen.
listen
We
now.
are official watchmen.
Then why do you need the script if you're official watchmen?
Because we do not have badges that do shiny things that some cities have. We have documentation. This is Middenheim. We do things properly.
Clearly.
Okay, well, you said you could. It said that you could do things, under suspicion of chaos. You
If
did
you're-
that.
Yeah.
You examined me.
You can't arrest her now, which she no longer has suspicion of chaos.
I can arrest her for anything. I can arrest
No,
her for
that's
being a
That's
not
not
chaos
what that
sympathizer.
document just said.
I can arrest her
That is
for
not
being a
what that
chaos
document just
sympathizer.
said.
If you wish to continue to agitate me, I'm sure I can make something
I
up.
beg your pardon. A chaos sympathizer win.
This girl, she is a chaos mutant, and you wanted to stop us from arresting her.
I wanted
And
to
we
stop
still
you
have
from
not come
killing
to
her.
the terms of the marks on this man's face. And
I don't
yes,
have
yes,
a problem with you arresting the little girl.
you must answer,
Just don't
finish
hurt
answering our
her.
questions.
I'm done answering your questions. I
Ugh.
played
Then
the
very
fifth.
well. You will come with us and you will answer questions under the
I'm not
tension of
going
the city
anywhere with
watch.
you.
Ha ha. Arrest her. Do any of you wish to stop us, or do you wish to be arrested
Try.
as well?
I would like
Oh,
you
we'll
to
just
check
come
these
pick
two
her
men
up.
as well. I
Pardon?
believe they should be checked as well, since they were accusing us of chaos mutations without knowing
It
us.
does seem a
And
little
they will
saucy.
be. They
That
will
was a
be.
little suspicious. I would love for them to be checked as well.
This is all in good time. But
We don't have much time. Aren't you busy? Don't you need to escort the girl to the
we are
watch?
doing what we need to do, but you continue to cause us problems.
We're
No, you
frustrated
continue
because we
to
have a
make
meeting. We have a
problems.
You
meeting
are
with
frustrated.
witch
Do you
hunters.
think we are not frustrated dealing with this
Yes.
problem every day?
You're
Here's-
making
here's the
unnecessary problems for yourself.
Here's the thing, though. You're stopping us to talk to us about things that aren't happening. We're talking to you about how we don't want to have to stop about the things that you don't want to have to deal with anyways. At this point, we're just talking for the
Look.
sake of talking. I've got a meeting with witch hunters coming up, and I need to pick up some armor on the way.
Look, I'm sorry. Let me apologize for my friends here. It is extremely frustrating. We have been dealing with our own issues. We have been in service of the church as well as the guard to help deal with some of the situations in the city recently. So we are frustrated as well. I apologize that we are not being
Give me a charm roll.
completely forthcoming. Let me charm him, please. No.
Okay.
I'm gonna re-roll it.
Okay. There you go. Oh, very nice. Okay, he says, look, everybody just calm down. Our business here is almost completed. If we can
Yes.
just finish up within the next moment, we will be able to go about our business. Nobody being
Appreciate that.
detained,
We are
nobody
very-
being held up any further.
We are very appreciative. We
He says,
just
good.
need to get to our meetings.
So, back to the matter at hand with the helm.
yes.
So you said that you have had the helm in your presence for about a week,
Yes.
and during this time, as you have worn the helm, you are saying that at no point since you have worn the helm in this last week, you have felt angry or enraged or depressed.
The only time I felt depressed is right now, I have been outed for my feelings for her and not been reciprocated.
But other than that, you have been completely fine.
Completely fine.
Yes. I'm afraid we are going to have to ask you to come with us to the city watch.
Why are you having to go? Why does he have to go with you?
Clearly, the city is in chaos.
Yes.
And
We've been
this
at the
man
church.
has no exhibitions of distress or anger
we
like
were-
every other citizen would.
We were at
Obviously, the helm
church.
is making him sympathetic to this chaos.
Can I
After our
ask a
service to the
question here?
church.
I want
After
to
our
ask a
service to the
question.
church.
You may ask
But-
us a question if you wish.
We've been staying at the Temple of Ulrich. Do you think the temple priests would not notice that this was affecting him in such a way, since that is what they are trained to do?
If what you say is true, I believe you're probably correct.
Yeah.
We have a badge from the temple priests.
And I'm gonna show him the White Wolf badge
Okay.
that I got from him.
We have received this in.
But it does not
Exchange for our
prove
service.
that you have been staying at the temple recently.
Would you like us to walk with you there?
We
prove
do
it
not.
if you would walk
Here's
with
what
us.
we will do. You will accompany us to the city watch. Once we are there, we will send an envoy to the temple of the White Wolf and have somebody summoned. And if he verifies your story, you'll be free to go. But we will still have to investigate the situation with this helm and this sudden. This doesn't bother me all of a sudden type thing.
I'm very bothered. What are we talking about?
I don't know. It seems to me it doesn't matter what they find or
We're
say.
finding chaos anywhere. They're trying to find chaos anywhere, and we are going to miss our meeting with the witch hunters for this.
Yes, witch hunters, why
We
would we
were-
go and meet witch hunters if we are chaos sympathizers?
Again, you would not probably. If this is the truth. We only have your word for this. I do feel that if you accompany us... And did you not yourself say that you have worked for the watch and did you know our great commander?
We do. We have, yes. We would love to come and meet him again.
Well, then let's go.
Peacefully.
You
Peacefully.
just said you didn't know where he was.
No, I said he is not going to probably be at the city watch. He is somewhere in the city, but...
If
Okay, we don't have time to wait for him. We're going to be late for a meeting.
I'm sorry about your meeting, but we have a situation now that we must resolve.
Screw your situation.
So now we are back to the whole resisting arrest problem. La 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 la.
I thought that we were a company. You haven't put me under arrest.
Okay, you're not under arrest. However, unfortunately, your friend here is temporarily under arrest until we can verify his story. He is under arrest.
For what?
Suspicion of chaos.
But you checked him.
We checked him physically, but then when we asked him questions about the helm, it would appear that there is possibly more beneath the surface that we do not able to see with our naked eyes. We will rely on the Temple of Sigma to send a priest to have him properly checked over.
I'm gonna size these guys up. Does it look like I can knock them all out?
They're all wearing helms for a start, so probably that's not really an option.
The Temple of Sigmar or the Temple of Ulrich?
He said the Temple of Sigmar.
Sigmar, okay.
Which we have badges for.
Yeah, we have badges from them too when we did service to them.
I was trying to remember
Chaos
who we know there, so we can have them come.
You know pretty high up people. That was where Father Odo was, where
Yeah.
the first one that died.
Hey, sirs, do you remember? Oh, was that publicized, the murder at the Temple of Sigmar, or did they put that under?
They put that under wraps. The thing is, all of the work we've done has been covert, but we have a lot of people who would.
But obviously, everybody knows that the
us.
wells were tainted, and that was supposed to be kept secret. So,
It's not a secret anymore, but you know,
Yeah, I mean,
we were sent.
it obviously
to deal
wasn't
with
a.
them.
If what is being said's happened and people have drunk from a tainted well, clearly in the last couple of days, it's been discovered that there is a well tainted. So they may, while they attempted to keep it under wraps, it sounds like the Chaos Cat is out of the bag.
and these guys probably, we were told not to tell them anything about the Skaven that we.
No, all our claims to what we've done.
That's the problem, is everything that you've done, you've got nothing to back it up or verify it. So, but you do have powerful friends that can and will back it up and verify it.
I would like to request a specific person from the temple to come and verify our claims.
This is
If
fine.
you would be so kind.
As I said, V, this individual is only arrested on suspicion of chaos.
Yeah. So look,
I will come with you as well.
I will go peacefully so long as you do not violate my person or property while we investigate and get the person to vouch for us.
We will afford you this courtesy because at this time, as long as you cooperate, there is no reason for us to believe that you may possibly be innocent. I can't prove that you are chaos yet, but that is why you are only being arrested on the suspicion of chaos. Rings a girl!
I think you should check these two as well.
Oh, we
sure.
fully intend to.
Oh no, they should come with us.
So you two, stand up. Let me see your ears. You have any birthmarks? Any? Poke out your tongues. Do you have forked tongues? Let me count your fingers. What about your feet? And they flip off their boots. You were sitting here this entire time? Do you know these people? Only that they were there with the girl a little while ago. They come running down the side street with her.
What?
Sticking to the story still, huh?
Are all the guards looking in that guy's direction at this point? Or is one guard looking still at me? Like the tokens?
They're not. I mean, they're not like looking directly at you, scrutinizing you. No, I mean, but they're not all blatantly glued. I mean, there is a peripheral vision going on.
Okay, I want to try a tiny spell.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Oh no, I totally want these guys to pay for this. They piss me off.
Yeah, but if I get caught casting a spell,
That's
You get caught casting a spell, you're kind of nailing a proverbial coffin.
oh, there's something I really want to do.
I was gonna say I was going to, under the cover of everything, kind of nudge them and be
While
like,
they're
"Do you have
checking-
any damning evidence?"
Yeah, I mean, this guy over here is kind of like
One of us just suddenly shout, "Holy shit! Did you see that? I think that dude has a tail."
I would like to go to one of the guards and be like, what would be the proper way of pressing charges against them for false accusations once we have proven our innocence?
Well, you can just verbally do it right here, right now.
I would like
Okay,
to
I
press
do
charges
that.
against them.
Okay. And what are these charges?
That they are falsely accusing us and lying to town guard.
Wasting your time and ours.
They are. Don't you think you should be offended by this as well? Once
Offended?
our story is
No,
vouched,
we are lied to every day. But if it is true and they are trying to cast aspersions on you that are not founded, then, and as he kind of saying that, he kind of leans this way, he says, then, of course, there are penalties to be paid. Be sure to get their full names and their place of dwellings.
Okay, I've never tried or attempted to cast covertly, right? I mean, I know channeling, you're basically waving your hands in the air to conjure, to key in, right? That's kind of obvious. But just casting a spell without using any ingredients, is that covert, or... I mean, how would I try
What
to
are
do
you
it?
saying, like, about... What are you referencing to try to
I'm
cast spells covertly?
I'm trying to cast a spell so no one sees me casting a spell. So that if it succeeds...
What the what?
The guy gets into trouble.
We saw.
Oh, okay. So you wanna basically
Not
not be seen?
not be immediately obvious that I'm
You have to
manipulating.
succeed a sleight of hand skill roll. You don't have that skill, I doubt, yet.
Sleight of hand. Oh, so that's a specialized skill.
Yes. It can be done, but it is something you'll have to pick up other skills to become a certain type of wizard that is capable of like blathering his spells so no one knows
Right.
they're cast.
So if
You're
I
an
try
initiate.
to
You're basically all about the
And
big
like-
hand gestures and all that shit right now to pull anything off.
Shit. Okay. Because I was gonna do something really cool, but I don't think that'll work. So okay.
What's up, Snugs? Okay, you're gonna back away from the spell casting
Well,
idea?
I mean, yeah. If people are gonna see me casting.
Well,
a
after
spell.
he checks them, he goes, "They seem to check out." He says, "As I said, be sure to get their full names and their places of dwelling, because if this turns out to be true and that they are instigating trouble, when we are already facing so much trouble as it is, there will be very harsh consequences for them."
If they come with
Understand.
us, so that once our story is vouched, you can immediately find them instead of having to track them down. They are just sitting here. They're not doing anything important.
And apparently, if you want to take somebody into custody, you can for no reason at all.
I think they should just come with us until our story is verified. And once it's verified, you can arrest them at that point.
Charm roll.
Come on, Charm.
Yes.
Okay, this guard says, "That does seem reasonable. After all,
I'm trying to save you extra work. I don't want you to have to go through extra work on our behalf.
Yes, right. Come with us, you two. We will hold you comfortably in detention until your story is verified.
I'm gonna stick my tongue out.
Unless you would like to recant your claims? This... I mean, it looked like it was them that was with the girl. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was a different group of people. We could
sure
be
there's so many
mistaken,
people that
couldn't
look
we?
like
I
us.
could be mistaken. It is very possible. So are you saying that they were not in accompaniment of the girl? Would you swear that they were on pain of punishment?
We are pretty
I would not swear.
Take a good
So-
look. We're very recognizable. You would know if it was us.
After all, this man right here with this gold helm, how many gold helms do you see? In fact, did you not very specifically point out the fact that he had the gold horns and the ram horns? In this light, maybe... I think you should come with us. And he kind of grabs them both by the scruff of the neck and yanks them up out of their chair. Says, right, come along.
Very well, let's go.
This-
Hopefully this will be finished in time for our meeting.
He says, would you like us to send for the Church of Sigma first to verify that this man does not have any chaos mutations? Or would you rather us send for somebody from the Temple of Ulrich to verify that you were in fact staying at the temple this last night?
Would either one of those work?
Father Ranulph, in particular, is in very close contact with our party. We've been doing work for him in the city.
This is up to you. We're offering you the courtesy.
Very
We
well.
can
If
have a
both-
single knight come and conduct
If
the
both-
proper rites to see if any of you are in fact tainted by chaos, or
Ulrich
we can
is
just
closer.
fetch somebody from the Temple of Ulrich to verify your
Temple
claims
of
that you
Ulrich
have
is
been
close.
staying there.
Let us go with that one if that would suffice.
Temple of Ulrich is much closer, yes.
It is. We
It
would
is
like
closer,
to get our
and
meeting.
I agree that it is very unlikely that you would be suffering chaos mutations and dwelling under the very roof of the great Temple of Ulrich. After all, if there was chaos under their very roof, they would be competent enough to know this and put a stop to it. So we will accept their word.
I agree with you.
I'm gonna kind of look down at that, but I'm not gonna say anything.
Can we write a letter to request one of them to come and verify us?
We will send for somebody, yes. We will send a runner.
And we would like to... Who would we like to see, Karen? Who are we going to request come and verify?
Oh, dude,
our...
Father Randolph, we're going to the top tier guy because he knows the most
Very
about
well.
our operations.
Father Randolph.
Dude, he's the coolest guy.
Father Renoff, I'm sure, is very busy. It may take him longer than somebody else. Is there someone more accessible you'd like to send for? I mean, we will send for Father Renoff, but you may be in
So whoever can
custody for
verify.
further.
I'm sure he would send someone.
Yeah, he would send his own envoy, I'm sure.
Yes, he would send someone himself. We would like to request his verification.
His verification, but it can be
If it
through
comes
someone else.
through someone else, then that suffices for us as well.
Okay. This is, well, then this way to the city watch, and once we are there, we will have someone sent for.
Right.
Okay, so they
Detour.
are going to take you through the streets. As you go through the streets, you will indeed see many, many disturbing sights. What you also notice is this entire time, all the chaos mutated girl has done is cry. If that's a chaos mutation that you can cry for like an hour and a half without any pause, she is chaos tainted. But that
She's
is
not
about the
chaos tainted.
only
I do
thing
that
that you
every
guys
week.
have seen that could possibly back that up. She has 10 fingers. She has dirty, filthy toes. There is no forked tongue. But of course, if she can disappear and go invisible, who knows? Alrighty. So as you are being escorted back towards the watch headquarters, walking down the street with a small retinue, literally as you are crossing over the main street right here, you see a familiar figure. The Deputy High Priest Klaus Liebnitz himself, of the city of Ulrich, or the Temple of Ulrich, as I said, with a small attachment of Teutonic guards. He's kind of walking in the middle, and they are regimentally walking along next to him. It looks like they are approaching the southern gate. You literally cross over the path directly in front of them. Do any of you wish to do anything?
Point that out, yeah. That makes this easier.
That makes it so much easier.
That's High Priest Klaus.
Hi, Klaus.
Okay, so you're gonna kind of like, do you want to say anything to the watchmen? Because I mean, they're not stopping. They just kind of like nod.
It's my fiance.
He could
And they're gonna keep
verify.
walking.
he could verify. He
verify.
blessed us on our way out the door. Like,
Okay, Legionips kind of walks up to the leader of the captain of the watch, or the leader of the watch, and says, "What is going on here? Agents, or potentially agents of chaos, your worship," says the leader of the guard proudly, in answer to the high priest query. "Cortum, harboring, or potentially being accused of harboring and assisting, aiding and abetting this young mutant girl that we apprehended, that was attempting to escape justice." Klaus Liebnitz goes, and he kind of breaks out of the ranks and comes over, and he goes straight over to Cadorel and eyes you up and down very closely with his arms behind his back. Then as he walks past you, he glowers down
would
at
he
old
not
Det.
see the badge with the?
If you're wearing it proudly, he looks down at old Det and kind of like almost raises an eyebrow like he's seen something, and then goes. Then he turns and comes and stands in front of Bertilda, and just puts his got two fingers on your cheek and just like. Then he walks over to Matthew Bain, and puts both of his hands on the helm, and begins to slowly lift it up. Do you wish to do anything?
No.
Okay, he lifts it up maybe half an inch, and then goes, and lets it go, and puts it back in its place. As you probably breathe the biggest sigh of relief that you've ever lived. All right. Sergeant, he says, I will take it from here. And he's like, waves an arm of dismissal to the City Watch. I will make sure that you are credited with the arrest and receive any associational rewards. We and my Teutonic guards will take them into custody. We will conduct our own investigation, and believe me, if they are tainted by chaos, they will pay for their wickedness. They kind of like, the guards stop and look and seem to be somewhat, what do we do? What do we do? At that point, he gestures to the Teutonic guards, and they fall in smartly around you, and two of them get like right next to him and then lean forward, and the guards like lean back. At that point, he says, "You not have anywhere else to be? There's plenty more chaos for you to find, good guards. Now go and do your jobs." All right, you are, your worship. And the four guards, taking the little girl, scurry off in the direction of the City Watch. "Good hunting!" cries Lead Nips with a cheery wave as the watchmen run away. "I will speak to Commander Schutzman personally after I question these suspects." With a final wink kind of in your direction, he orders these two Jonics to escort the prisoners to our temple. And they all kind of nod and place a hand on your shoulders and like turn you in the direction to lead you back up the main street towards the Temple of Ulrich.
I really feel like we need someone professional to deal with this little girl that they're taking. As we turn and walk.
He says, "Trust me, there will probably be 20 such children apprehended before this day is out. We cannot save them all."
Does that mean you don't save one of them? Because you can't save them all?
Then the Watch Commander arrives. He will sort through and make sure that those that are actually tainted by chaos are dealt with, and those that are not are sent home to their parents. Do not worry.
I am thankful for helping us, but we did have places to be today. You could have just said we were not tainted.
I'm gonna kind of glare at Matthew Bain a little bit.
That was more fun, I think. Did you see the look on the guards' faces?
Yes, but now those two that accused us are probably not going to be arrested.
Good.
Oh, because they're going to stay just as well as the kid, yeah?
He says, "No, we will, with all the eyes watching," he said, "I will get you back to the temple. And, once we are there, then you will be free to go on your own way."
Thank you for your help.
He says, "I would let you loose before then, but, as you have seen, the guards are somewhat overzealous."
And the people are as well, it seems.
Well, unfortunately, it would seem that while we were successful in rooting out the Purple Hand and securing the barrels of orb dust, we were not so successful before one or two of the wells did in fact get tainted. Fortunately, most of those are over in the southern Southgate Ostwald district. They are trying to contain it as best we seek, but as well you can see, the rumor mill is alive and well, and all of a sudden everybody is seeing signs of chaos. Whether these are legitimate signs of chaos or not. This right here is precisely why we wanted everything to be kept so quiet, to avoid such ridiculous behavior in the city.
We agree with you. We did our best.
And you did. And it would have been considerably worse. And it is for this reason that I have been in communication with, as you know, I am the deputy high priest, but I have been in communications with the high priest himself, and he has asked that we bestow some very unique honors upon you. Honors that, should this situation arise again, you would not have to bother with the problem of dealing with such lowlives as city guards.
That would make my life complete. Oh, today has been a hassle.
low lives. I just hear the horns of brr, brr, brr.
All right. So you eventually, after hours of walking down through the streets, you get back to the familiar sign of the Temple of the White Wolf. He escorts you in and says, "We need to make sure that this is kept very, very quiet. This is not a part of the temple that we normally allow outsiders to see, but under the circumstances, we believe that, well, you can be trusted. There's something far more sinister at work here than even we realized. Come with us." He kind of leads you down a long, dark stairwell lit just by torch sconces. You come down to open up a large door where there seems to be like a small room with another reinforced door and a burly guard sitting behind a desk. He says, "You did not see anything. These four were not here." "Yes, your worship." The door. Okay, they open the door, and him and the Teutonic Knights kind of come down behind you, and he goes, "My guests." And then close the door behind. You hear a definitive clunk, clank, clink as the door is locked behind you.
This could be really bad.
I feel like no, I straight up feel like we're in the cask of Amontillado and we're about to get bricked in somewhere.
He says, "Follow me." And he pulls one of the torches off the wall sconce and promptly begins to walk down the passageway.
Oh, I'm right behind him.
Okay.
Of course you are.
The Teutonic guards are kind of like staying back to allow you guys to kind of go ahead, so, and then they're just kind of bringing up the rear. Turns around a corner and begins to go down a long passageway. As he does so, to the left and the right, you are passing large, very thick, solid, and old jail cells. And he continues to walk.
Yep, we're gonna be bricked in somewhere, guys.
Right. He kind of gets almost to the end, and then he spins around and just kind of spins around abruptly and stops.
Probably bump into him.
Okay, he looks at you and he smiles, and he just runs one hand like gently down your cheek. "I am sorry to disappoint you," he says with great insincerity, "but it seems to me that you have overlived your usefulness.
I beg your pardon?
There are a few things that demand my attention at present, but I will return to deal with you shortly. In the meantime, please make the best of my simple hospitality. Guards!" And with that, the Teutonic Knights instantly pull out swords and stand ready. And he goes, "Make yourselves at home into the cells."
Yes.
But
Precisely what I thought was going to happen.
Deputy High Priest.
He just looks at you and goes, and just like barges past you and starts walking down the corridor, leaving you to the mercy of these Teutonic Knights. One of the knights just says, "We're not entirely sure what is going on here, but you would do well to get inside the cells without attempting to resist arrest. Leave your weapons and get in the cells." Another one then just kind of gives Cadorel a push and says, "You heard him!"
Okay, but it's gonna take a minute. I'm just gonna start weapon after weapon.
Are we really going to listen?
It's 4 Teutonic Knights. These are, by reputation, the toughest and most decorated troops in the Imperial Army.
It
would be unlikely to realistically, you would know that it would be a challenge if there was one of them. 4 of them would be suicide. They'd cut you down literally in a matter of seconds.
Yes, well, clearly.
But you can try.
Anyway.
You are welcome to try.
They're
They
just
said
getting
we've
us in the thing.
we've outlived our usefulness. So we either fight or we die in the cell?
No, I don't think that's exactly what's going on here. I think we're just being imprisoned. It'll be done in, like, what, 300 years?
Hey, you elves will outlive him anyway. He's friggin' human. And then whenever the new priest comes along, you go, we don't even know why we're down here. Let us go. Oh,
That's
that
my
bony,
angle,
that
anyways.
bony
Yeah,
figure
no, I'm
there,
going to
that was all
cooperate
dead. She
because
was
otherwise
half
I'll die. If I don't cooperate, I die. So
I
I'm
mean, I
going to
can't kill them by
cooperate.
myself.
Yeah, you can. You're
But
all
I'm-
dead. You're lucky.
Clearly, by me dying.
Okay, so like
last
I don't
game.
say anything, and I just kind of stand there, and they'll probably have to remove my weapons because I'm not doing it.
Okay, if you don't, then after a while they will kind of like just roughly snatch them off you and hurl them to the floor.
I have a question. My sling, does it look like a weapon? What kind of sling is it? Is it like one of those like?
I mean,
Like an
it's not like a
shot?
slingshot. It's a sling, which is
Yeah.
a piece of
Yeah, you can't tell it's a
leather
sling. Like,
that's. I mean, it would really depend how you are carrying it and how you have it about your person.
oh no, it's in my bag, like tucked in there.
Okay.
I don't have it. Like,
I mean, they're not going to let you keep your bags either. So you're being put in prison. They're not going to leave you a
know.
backpack of unchecked gear.
I know.
So I can't like
If I can
just
grab
throw
it.
my bags discreetly into the cell as I take everything out in front of them.
You can attempt
Not without a sleight of
that.
hand. Not without a sleight of hand skill, and then there's going to
Yeah,
be suspicious.
but-
They're probably just
yeah.
going to throw it in a chest.
No, I take off and get down into my skivvies.
Okay. Well, they're actually not going to strip you of your armor.
Yeah, no, I'm
They
just
don't
Oh,
care
okay,
about
good.
that.
I'm just giving them.
They
their
know how
weapons and
uncomfortable
going in the
armor is to
shop.
sleep in. So
It does kind of amuse me though. They're like, "Give me your weapons," and Matthew Bay just strips butt naked. no,
Whoa,
we
whoa,
just
whoa,
want your
whoa.
weapons.
Not that weapon. He's got a wart.
No, I take my weapons off in my bag.
Okay, alrighty. And then they'll escort you into the furthest cell on the right. They're not even going to split you up. They're just going to stick you all in the one cell.
Okay. At which point I'd just be like, if we could have any amount of mercy, perhaps an explanation from Father Renolf before due time kills us in this hole.
I am sure that Herr Leibniz has a very good reason to apprehend you and put you in here. It is not for us to ask or question why. Now, if you do not mind, we have to close the doors.
Right. Well, I wasn't in the way of the doors. I figured they were closing them.
So once everybody's in the cell, they'll lock it up. Or at least they'll have the jailer come down and lock it up. And then they begin to just walk away quietly, leaving you with the view of one dark cell directly across from you, which seems to have one figure sitting in it that you can't make out because he's just kind of like sitting there all slumped over in the shadows. Okay, what do you want to do?
Are you alive over there?
You hear, what? I recognize that voice. The figure gets up and moves to the front and peers through the bars. It is Jacob Bauer, one of the witch hunters.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Well, we don't have to worry about our meeting.
You're the ones that brought the brass skull back from the Tomo of the Forest, yes?
That
Oh,
was
that's what
us.
this is about. Did that thing get to him?
It must have.
Oh, actually, no, let me rephrase that. It's not Jacob Bauer. This is Matthias Hoffer.
Still shit.
Well,
I bet
actually,
it is the autograph.
technically,
We
more
did
shit.
one
'cause-
Oh, I
Or
thought
shit?
this place would be so...
yeah, because Matthias Hoffer was the leader of the witch hunters.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Jacob Bauer was the big, thick, burly one, and then there was Ulrich Fischer, who was the doctor.
What happened to your company?
They took Bauer when we were looking for the poisoners. We found a nest of cultists by the north gates, in the basement of a tavern called the Sword and Flail. The emblem was a skull covered in blood. There was a book there, and the watch picked it up and him. He was simply trying to bring the book to us. Unfortunately, when the watch found him in possession of it, they arrested him On suspicion of being a chaos cultist, the fact that he was in possession of the book.
They really don't like you, do they?
I have to believe that there is some misunderstanding going on here. Somebody, I believe, has been able to get to the ear of the deputy high priest and convinced him that somehow we are the bad, the bad element here in the city, and you, unfortunately, possibly by acquaintance of us, might have been brought down to your current position because of it. I do not know. I am trying to figure this out myself.
I don't think it's because of you.
Bad?
I would say he probably is.
Why?
I believe that maybe perhaps now you understand more why we are not being exactly in favor of the priests of Ulrich or the Temple of the White Wolf, as we tried to explain to you once before. While we are all technically on the same side, we go about things in a very, very different fashion.
Yes.
Oh man, that's ironic, because I always assumed that it was the other way around, but these guys care more about individual life than the fuckers at the church. Shit!
Honestly, I don't think it's because of our association with you.
Well, then perhaps it is our association with you. Either way, I do not believe that you are in league with chaos, or that you are potentially our enemy. After all, it seems that while there has been a good deal of suspicion coming from you towards ourselves, yes, we were very aware of it, but perhaps now you can see that potentially we are more on the same side than perhaps you and the High Priest Helibnitz. Of course, we do not know exactly why he has had all of us imprisoned. It makes sense why they took Bauer, but, as you can probably see, as he kind of, like, leans in to get closer to the torch, one of his eyes is, like, brutally beaten up. His lip is split. He has been brutalized. He has absolutely been beaten stupid. Yes, this is the work of, the priesthood of Ulrich for you. The strange thing is, they didn't even ask me any questions. Herr Leibniz ordered the jailer to, well, give me a warm welcome. And with my hands tied behind my back, he proceeded to do so with hobnail boots and a large plank of wood. This is the man that you speak so highly of. Now, if you do excuse me, I suddenly feel a little bit lightheaded. And he kind of like collapses to the floor, right where he was standing.
Well. Can I check the cell to see if there's any, like, I don't know, check the bars, check the stones?
Sure, give me a perception check.
Check everything. Perception.
Well, as I said, Hammer, they didn't even ask him any questions. They just beat him. Ooh, a 9. Okay. So you do notice that on the bottom left-hand corner of one of the bars, it is slightly worn. It looks like somebody at some point did try, with some implementation, to begin to cut through a bar. But they didn't get very far. Beyond that, this cell looks fairly solid.
Okay. Well, are we going to wait here?
think we should do.
Well,
Problem
we're
solved.
gonna be late to our meeting either way.
Well, I think we had a meeting here just
Okay.
now.
It was a joke.
Your perception. Okay, here's the thing. One of the things that you do notice, because you did get 3 successes, clearly this jail is designed to stop any brute from escaping. I mean, the bars are yay thick. It's not, beyond the strength of any normal person to bend or whatever. The doors, they're basically just, long, thick, straight bars with a very sturdy steel frame. However, it does look like it's entirely possible that the architect never visualized apprehending and arresting halflings. It would be an incredibly tight squeeze, but it is potentially possible that Aldet might be able to squeeze through the bars.
There's 3 latches on the outside of the gate, though. How are we getting anywhere from there?
How many cells did we pass by? Was it a lot?
There's only 6 down here.
It's only 6, and only 2 are occupied.
Offer is on one of them, the other side. You are on the other, and the others are empty. It doesn't look like these cells, as dusty and as dirty as they are down here, these are not frequently used. This is a very underutilized area of...
We're here to be forgotten about.
Yeah. Damn, 9 oubliette. Matthew Bain's got some butter somewhere, I know it.
Try. I'm gonna try and slip through the bars.
Okay. Give me a challenging agility roll. That means -20.
Dude, I'm gonna get stuck. Agility?
Uh-huh.
Challenging, -20.
And it is the same day, so you do not have a fortune point, a fortune point today.
I'm gonna get stuck. I'm not that agile. -20? Gosh.
Try to wiggle your way through. Okay, no.
No, can't fit.
It's bloody close. You can try to suck your stomach in and twist here and twist there. You can get yourself almost halfway in and wedged to the point where it's tough to get you back out. Man, if there's just some way to kind of ease you, to kind of help just a little.
No, give me a few days and not eating.
A few days of not eating and you'll...
Alright. I actually know what to do. Oh god, we're going here.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at everybody and be like, how many of you guys need to pee?
Oh my god, are you gonna try to pull a Shanghai Noon?
Yes.
Dude, we're all thinking Shanghai Noon.
We're all
thinking Shanghai Noon. Here's what you do, ka-chow. You gotta pee on a
pee on a rag. You wrap it around 2 bars, and then
next thing you know,
it.
you're crisscrossing it. The whole thing's just all coming ka-chow, ka-shlam, shoo-bop, wow, and then you're through. Shanghai Noon.
Shanghai Noon. Yeah. Is that feasible, Gore?
You can attempt it.
Get a shirt, right? We all soak it in urine. We wrap it around 2 bars. We get a bar or something. Is there something free floating in this cell? Like a torchlight? Put it in there, and we twist, and then all dead.
There's nothing free floating for you to utilize. There's a torch outside on the... a sconce on the center of the wall, but not within reach.
Just use my leg bone.
We'll get your femur, right, Cad?
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna spend time trying to figure out how I could fit through, since we're down here bored.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's just
All I need is a
Spend the
log
time.
or something that I could use as a wedge, so we could twist and try to pry to get 2 bars closer together.
not something
You
you're gonna
should've-
find readily available in this jail cell, I'm afraid.
You should have pretended
About your belt.
enough.
Belt's not strong. It has to be strong. So
I think what troubles us the most here is we just left this place.
You left this place being welcome and nicely full of hospitality, and later the same day you're now in the basement, arrested, or not arrested, just pointless, but just unfairly detained.
I feel like something had to have gotten to him. If we've outlived our usefulness to him, then he has an ulterior motive in this city. Whether that be something that happened before we got here originally, or something that is happening now because of
I hate to
fact.
I hate to break it to you guys, especially you, Bertilda, because you seem to really like him. He could have, right there on the street, said these guys are not chaos mutations. He decided to throw us in jail the second he saw us, under the guise of helping us. I think he is one of the bad guys that we need to deal with.
I wonder if
That's kind of what I'm getting at. It seemed a turn of phrase. The way he said that we've outlived our usefulness wasn't his usual voice. It seems he's under some sort of...
the artifact got to him.
You think so?
I
think something got to him, and the artifact is what we brought back.
But wait, but that was sealed and put away.
Says who? Who sealed it and who put it away?
Supposedly them. But
exactly.
We had that artifact not sealed for longer, and we're not bad.
That's because you did see what it did to Tristan. Was it Tristan?
Mm-hmm.
It was Tristan.
I don't have my notes.
The young squire, it did totally take over his mind and get him to start doing crazy shit.
What it did to Tristan, right?
Yes, and then...
And he was a part of this order. So maybe it attacks this order. We don't know what it attacks.
But you think Tristan is on the same mental acuity and willpower level as the High Priest?
I don't know if it's a willpower. Perhaps it is something that is... We never felt the draw to it.
I did.
Very well.
I saw the shadows were demonic.
Yes, but you didn't feel like it's... You didn't feel like you were going to do things that it told you to do, though, correct?
True.
Tristan did what it told him to do.
We tried to. True.
So perhaps it is something with the order that it is drawing from.
I just think we should not...
Look, the order is the one that sent us to go get it in the first place. Do you think it wanted to be here originally?
Well, if the High Deputy was evil, he of course would want it here.
Perhaps
maybe he's one of the leaders of the White Wolves. There's no way he's evil. It's got to be the artifact.
No, he just threw 4 innocent people in jail for outliving their supposed usefulness when all we've done is help them.
Because of the artifact. We have to get out of here to free the White Wolf from the power of the artifact.
It might be the artifact. It might be something from before the artifact.
I think he drank out of the well.
I think we're giving him too much faith that he's corrupted and not corrupted by things and not the culprit behind things.
He's a White Wolf.
Look, honestly, I don't know if it's the artifact. It could be something from before because, as we know, he is, according to rumor, having an affair with the princess or whoever.
Maybe the princess is evil. What? It makes sense. What if she's controlling him with the power of chaos, and that's why we went to go get the artifact?
The power of chaos is my new favorite euphemism. Thank you.
The power of chaos compels you. The power of chaos compels you.
To do whatever I want you to.
All I know is that I'm still deliciously tickled by the "he was blinking" remark you made earlier. That still's making me laugh whenever I think of it.
Look, whatever it is, I do believe that something has gotten to him. I don't think he would even be allowed to do this under other circumstances.
Okay, and all I'm saying is that we have to have a thought in our minds that he is the big bad person that we have to deal with if it comes to truth, that he is not just a victim of the corruption.
That won't happen. He's a White Wolf and a High Deputy, the Deputy High Priest.
But, Matilda, what if it is what happens?
It can't be.
But Can it?
No.
For what reason can it not be?
Ulrich wouldn't allow it.
It might not be Ulrich's power which he's using. He did fail to notice the obvious chaos mutation before him with Matthew Bain here.
Maybe he didn't. Maybe he just let it go because he knew it wasn't going to be a problem.
I would question that decision if that is the case. No offense against you, Matthew Bain, but if his purpose is to root out all chaos and he lets a chaos mutation go, I would question
Well,
that
he's
decision.
not a witch hunter.
No, he just detains and beats up witch hunters.
He is making questionable decisions at the moment, and the motivations for those we cannot know at the moment.
You guys did not hear his tone? He didn't sound... I mean, that was like...
I questioned exactly what he was doing when he interacted with the
he
god.
might as well have been like, I got
Yes.
you now.
I agree.
Come on.
I agree. The moment he interfered with the gods, I questioned his motivations behind doing so. However, they have been very generous to us up until this point, so I decided to follow along.
Fair enough.
As we all did. At the moment, however, all of the decisions he has made to this point are quite questionable. I don't know his motivation for doing so, though.
It's not him.
It could be that it's not him. But if it is him, then this organization of the Warps needs to deal with the problem at hand and perhaps institute greater checks, because the knight seemed
That's
unable
what I'm
to question.
saying. There is no way that he could have gotten to the position that he's in.
Well, once he's in this position, no one is questioning him. The knights themselves have no idea what we have done, but they are taking us into custody because he said so.
Could also make him a high target for a high-level emissary of chaos to latch onto.
This is true.
The White Wolf needs us.
Yes, but right now the White Wolf is also our enemy.
Not the real White Wolf.
Right.
Well, then I hope that your prayers are heard and that he helps us help them.
We do need to get out of here.
Exactly. So can
And
we start the
we-
prayers?
But we also need to find our next ally.
We've got
Right.
one across the hall.
Yeah, but the witch hunters seem to be compromised.
Sure, but a compromised ally is still better than no ally.
We can't go to the guards because we've seen how they act. Even our friend commander probably wouldn't be so nice to us next time we see him.
Honestly,
So-
I'm kind of tired of this city, so if we get out of here, can we just leave?
It's so frustrating
No,
too,
the
because
White
everything
Wolf
I've been
needs
doing was
us.
for reputation.
Yes, well, I'm kind of tired of being needed by everyone in this city with this as thanks.
You don't.
It's
you don't,
fair if you want to leave, but I can't do that.
Well, currently none of us can leave, so.
Well, if we do get out of here and escape, do you not
Yes.
think that all the places to leave the city will be blocked?
Probably. I just know that at the first chance we get, I am tired of the city needing us. I am ready to find a place that is not quite so needy.
Needy.
But being needed is the greatest. That's the best thing in life, is to be needed.
Yes, but there are places that could need our help that are a little
Don't
more
throw us in
welcoming.
prison. Yes.
Yes, they don't compel us to work because we are not suspect, but will be suspected if we don't help, and then throw us in prison for helping and succeeding.
Well, to be fair, we were getting paid and getting rewarded.
Yes, but
We were
every
getting-
single time we weren't given the option to choose to be paid. We were told we had to do it and that we would be compensated if we succeeded. Could we have turned it down?
That's true. That's absolutely true. Had we turned around, we would have been arrested for what we knew and what we couldn't divulge.
Exactly, and that's probably what landed
Well-
us in here. We know too much.
Be that as it may, we're still in this jail cell, so how are we going to get out? I mean, Catarel and myself could try on one bar and Bertilda on another, and we pull them apart as much as possible, even though they are too big for us, it looks like. to see if we can get more squeezed.
Yes, the bars are immediately before us, but beyond those is pretty sure death.
Okay, so none of us alone have an ability, but what about Mateus?
Well, he's passed out.
This is true.
Yeah, he's kind of like slumped on the floor at the bars on the other side.
So he's not conscious right now. That doesn't mean he's down and out. Or at least...
I suppose what I'm saying is, while it's good to mull over ideas and get ideas for escape and perhaps prepare some sort of daring escape, a daring escape is probably our lowest chance survival way out of here.
This is true.
What is the other option?
We need to convince them that we're more useful out than in.
It did seem they had some intention of returning to whatever is happening here with some sort of...
Yeah, but that could be tonight or in like a month.
And I suppose in like a month we'll know if it was in like a month. But what I'm saying is, if we hastily try to escape the same night of our capture, it would probably not end well for us.
But the longer we wait, the weaker we'll become.
Not if we... No, I suppose for some of us. You are well beyond your resting natural state. You're a goddamn warrior. I'd suggest we wait for perhaps another opportunity, whatever that opportunity might be. Personally.
I don't have any other options.
For the moment, because should we escape the bars somehow in this exact moment, what are we to do? Go down the hall and get slaughtered?
Well, I was going to check on the cell across from us and also see if there was anything in any of the others, but I don't think I'm going to be able to escape on my own.
The trouble then becomes, how do we get you back in and make it look like we haven't ripped the bars open? So on and so forth.
I was trying to slip through without noticing.
It's about, just for relevance, it's about 5 feet from one side of the corridor to the other. So it's about 5 foot from the door of your cell to Offer's cell. Just to give you so you realize just how kind of, yeah.
Does anyone have any games to play?
I've brought this pack of Uno cards.
We have this one we like to play in Elven Society where we close our eyes and breathe slow.
And this is a game? Or is it a way to try to get us to shut up?
Well, it can be a game if you're clever.
I call that sleeping.
There it is. That one's clever. I don't see much else we can do.
There's always something else to do. We just have to think of it.
We need to find a way to convince them that we're more useful alive and out. That would be the only thing I can think of.
I'm having trouble believing that we can get them to trust us after what they did to us.
I'm actually going to do what Aldette suggested, and I'm going to go pray.
Huh.
Dear Ulrich.
I mean, I was being honest. If you do have faith in any of these...
And Bertilda does, so...
Well, and we are talking about a fantasy world where gods actually do answer prayers and give people magic, so it's not so absurd.
Oldette was on the verge of following Ulrich because they saved her life, but now it's like, no. I worship the pie goddess. What's the one that the halfling god? She's a goddess, and they have pie week or something festival.
Yeah, it's great.
That's the only one I know. That's the only god I know in this world.
Hey, Real Me sounds like an awesome god.
I know. I was like looking up halflings when I was researching my character, and it was like, this is the goddess of the halflings, and I was like, done. That's the only one I worship.
Pie week. Okay. So
Tilda's in the corner praying to Ulrich.
Okay.
Show me
What's
the way.
everybody
How
else
do I
doing in the
save
short
White
term?
Wolf?
Well, I'm gonna harass Matthew Bain a little bit and just be like, well, you got what you wanted. You have feasibly a very long time with the love of your life over there. Chanting, whatever.
Are you saying that in common or Elvish?
Elvish.
Okay.
When I'm harassing you, it's in Elvish.
Okay, good to know. So in Elvish, in response, I'm just going to be like, that was clearly a ruse, an attempt at getting sympathy. Don't actually feel
It didn't work.
Duck's over there praying to the
Failed the
goddess
roll.
Esmeralda.
Hawk marks and a pig nose aren't exactly, hey, come to me, ladies. You know?
Well, that's going to walk up and down the bars to see if any of them are wider than the others. I'm inspecting the craftsmanship to see where I could slip through.
I mean,
not that I'm thinking I can make another roll, but just
no,
like that's
but I mean,
what she's gonna be doing.
it's annoying you because you know you're like, it's close. You just, but it's like even like where your ribs and stuff are. It's like you're thinking initially you might think, hey, if I starve and lose a few pounds, but that's mostly going to drop stuff off your gut and stuff like that. It's,
Mm-hmm.
you almost need some assistance to get through.
If we bend a bar, it'll be easier.
I can stuff you through.
So they're
Break a few
praying. What are
ribs.
the elves doing?
I mean, just gonna stew ideas basically over everyone we've met and who can and can't be trusted. What?
Oh, so you're going to just weave yourselves into a web of
Well, no, so in Elvish, I'm going to look...
paranoia.
In Elvish, to Cadarel, I'm going to be like, do you think if we broke her ribs, she could squeeze through?
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna like kind of shoot a look and be like, I mean, the floating ribs are probably what's reaching out for us. Those do condense. But also, we could probably just bend a bar a little bit.
Well, yeah, we get on the sides of it and try to pull it apart, right?
Just give it a little bit of wiggle room, it might be enough to do it. That and, I don't know, if we push, maybe she'll get through better.
Yeah, so at that, I guess, I am going to go up and grip each bar with one hand and try to see if there's any way, any give, any...
I mean, as I said, the bars are probably yay thick.
They're thick, right.
Very thick iron bars. I don't believe... I mean, none of you have got the strength to move them in any way, shape, or form.
I know, but if I grabbed a bar and tried to pull it one way, while Cadarel took another bar and tried to pull it the opposite way...
Just
they're
cast
not
drop
moving.
on the bars
They're not
whenever
moving.
I'm sliding through.
Yeah, they're not moving
Just
from you just
rub
pulling
your
on them.
butter.
Cast drop on the bars when I'm trying to slide through so that it drops me.
They're not
Just-
even made of a very flexible type of metal, so...
Just put... Oh wait, no, we don't have any butter. I was gonna say, if you put your butter...
All outside, man.
Yeah, it's all outside. If you put your butter just on her gut, she'd probably slip right through.
And there is one bar that someone was trying to carve through or break through.
Yeah, the very bottom left of the furthest left bar.
Is there any evidence on how they were trying to break it down?
I mean, it looks like they were trying to just saw through it somehow with something, but
Did like a fire.
they didn't make they didn't make much of a dent. Maybe a millimeter of, they might have dug into it, maybe about a millimeter. Not enough to even remotely come close to resolving their problem.
We're all just kind of like looking this over, right?
And certainly not enough for anyone to think that it was necessary to replace the bar either.
If they had a file with which to cut or attempt cutting, then they probably had somewhere to hide it.
About now, you can kind of hear groaning from the other side as the bloodied and beaten Matthias Hoffer kind of wakes up and squints as he kind of allows his eyes to, and then he just kind of pulls himself up into a sitting position, still on the floor, not enough to move yet. And he doesn't say anything. He just kind of like glances through the bars and looks at you, and then just like hangs his head a little.
So, elves are tall and frail, right? I mean, aren't we as thin, if not thinner, than Oldets? Like slender-wise? I mean, really... I'm tall, but I weigh 115 pounds. You know, that's...
Yeah, I mean, y'all are pretty...
Like, I'm a
width-wise, I mean, you're fairly skinny.
Yeah, I weigh 128. I'm 5'10". That's like...
y'all are making Bertilda feel fat.
She's a sturdy gal.
Mm-hmm.
That's like actually my proportions, though. That's just me. Like, I am Catarel sized.
We could break your ribs, Cad.
Cad would consider it. If I was like a little bit stuck.
Then again, considering Bertilda doesn't weigh enough either.
How much do you weigh, Odette?
90 pounds?
Yeah.
I feel like Bertilda probably weighs more than what I have on her sheet.
I'm like 2 feet shorter and I weigh almost as much as they do.
So we are much narrower than you.
Really, you're not really that much. You're definitely not narrower this way. You know, I mean, she's... Potentially with the sucked-in gut, she's still the smallest.
Okay. Nice cover. Shit, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I gotta change my background. I'm still in the city.
Oh.
But it's in a jail cell.
Find a dungeon.
No, I have one, yeah. I have them saved. No. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Well, we could try to lure someone down here to give us food or something and then collectively grab him.
I don't think they can hear us down here.
Well, I can make them hear us. That's not a problem.
Do you think they're going to be willing to give us food?
I would hope so.
Leave them down there and let them starve.
I mean, I can imitate many sounds and make them quite loud to be heard.
That door just sounded like it was fairly thick whenever we came down here.
But it did have like a little barred window.
Oh, did it?
Yes.
Ah.
So sound could travel through it. Especially down this long, narrow, echoey passageway. That was entirely feasible.
I mean, yes. I mean, we could just shout, and probably that would have the same effect.
I thought it was just like a solid door that's like, you're forgotten about down here.
Yeah.
You're forgotten.
Who is that? Yeah.
It's like air sealed, we're going to suffocate eventually. That's what I'm picturing here.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go to the bar and peer down the passageway.
All right.
Like, I'm getting hungry.
It's been over an hour. I don't think they're going to...
Shut up.
They don't know how long it was since I ate last.
we've been frog marched through this city. I mean, you know, it's been hours.
Okay, you're going to holler and scream that?
Yeah, I'm going to keep doing that.
You're going to keep doing it? Okay, after about the fourth time, eventually sick of hearing you, the jailer will yell, "There will be food sent to you in 2 hours. Shut your whining."
I have dietary restrictions.
I have allergies. We're elves.
Oh, then we will not feed you. We would not want to be held responsible. Wouldn't want to be sued.
I don't take Middenheim peanuts. Okay?
What I am hearing is you are going on a self-inflicted hunger strike. Is that right? Very well, saves the food. No, he goes, "You will be fed in 2 hours. Shut your noise. Be quiet."
Can we get a torch in here at least so we can see?
There is a torch down there on the wall. No. You do not get a torch in your own cell. Would not want you to commit suicide by burning yourselves to death, like the witches that you probably are.
Yeah, that'd be unethical.
Can't have that. Can't have a good burning with nobody get to watch it. That's robbing the populace of entertainment.
Valuable entertainment.
You could freak out. Oh my god, he's got a chaos mutation.
Yeah, Hoffer says, "Oh, 2 hours till supper time. I can't wait."
Is the lock to our door? I mean, I know it's on the opposite side.
Did they remember to lock ourselves? Maybe you should check.
Is it easy to, like, with one hand point it towards us, like move it so we could?
It's not a padlock. I mean, it's a door lock on a big slab of metal. You know, it's one of those old style keys that has the little lump in the middle, and the key has a hole in it, and it sits on and clunk clunk.
Because I want to take my helm off and use the horn to try it out.
Well, the horns are not really kind of stuck out of it; they're more carved into it.
No, they're carved into it. Okay.
They're like curled ram horns.
Okay.
Only we could all pick locks.
At this point, you're going to see the look of sheer terror on Caterill's face, realizing that his meal is going to probably suffer from the lack of cooking staff after we had to kill them all for their...
Yeah, you did murder the. You did well, not murder.
Oh
you
shit!
You had to kill. You did kill the kitchen.
So
Yeah.
our food's gonna suck, guys.
Those were the first suffered from the chaos mutations. Was the 3 or 4 people in the kitchen? Yes, you did
Who's
kill
gonna
those.
take care of your horse if we're stuck down
Oh yeah.
Disabled, and I put down a pretty good down payment, so it should be okay for a while.
I guess waiting for the food, I'm gonna go to the walls surrounding this and knock and try to find that there's a hollow part.
It is very thick. I mean, you're underground, so deep in the bowels of a reinforced building. So no.
Bricks.
Unfortunately, nobody had previously dug out a tunnel for you to find. But if you're not doing much else for the next 2 hours, after about an hour or so, Hoffer has recovered some. He is still basically all but useless, but he can at least can talk a bit more.
but
now.
useless.
Yeah.
God damn
I mean,
it.
he's
you're
like-
you're a witch hunter. We were scared of you.
Yeah, he's like on 0 wounds or whatever right now.
Jesus.
So yeah, he will like. So, do you have any ideas on how we're going to escape this godforsaken hole?
Well, half of us want to wait. I'm gonna kind of chuckle at that. So we could convince the high priest deputy guy that we are more useful out and in.
You think that he is somebody you can discuss? After, under his own personal supervision, I was beaten bloody? And you, that arguably have done so much for his order, he treats you this way?
Yeah, I don't think we should trust him. It's more... Well, I now have concerns for the ranks. We did favors for those close
My
to him.
concern is to try to free myself from here and get to the Temple of Sigmar. Once
We need
I'm
an
at the Temple of Sigmar, perhaps we can reason with them. After all, only the Temple of Sigmar is of a political rivalry to the Temple of the White Wolf. Do you think even your captain of the guard has the ability to override the deputy high priest of Ulrich? No, we would find ourselves much safer in the hands of the Sigmarite Temple. Plus, it is not too far from here, if we can find a way out.
And that's the trouble, isn't it?
I believe it is entirely possible that Herr Leibniz may have succumbed to the ways of chaos. And if so, is beyond reason. We must, of course, I do not know this to be true, but if we can escape from here and make our way to the Temple of Sigmar, perhaps once out of here we can find out exactly what is going on in this cursed city. Something is rotten. Something is rotten to the core. I can smell it.
Okay, have you been fed before by the jail, by the person down the hall?
I have been only here a few hours more than you.
You're gonna need an opportunity. Something that'll let us do our escape, but we do need a plan for when that comes.
Well, when he comes here with the food, I can try to coax him to drop what he's holding. And then maybe Odette or you, Catarel, by the door, can reach out and snag the keys, maybe? While he's bending over.
From what I seen when I was brought down here, there is but a single jailer in a small room. Our effects are probably in the large chest behind his desk. If we can overpower him, perhaps we can come up with a way to sneak out of this place. Trying to fight our way out would be absolutely stupid. There's no way we could possibly overcome Teutonic Knights. We will have to think of a more stealthy or clever way to get ourselves from this cursed temple.
Well, I mean, that was my suggestion.
I think we're all on board with that.
Thank you for hosting us. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. When he comes, if you wish, perhaps I could make some kind of distraction to draw his attention to me. If I can get him to step back close enough to you, perhaps you can reach for the bars and grab him. My question to you is, how dedicated to getting free from here are you?
Well, I'm very.
At this point, fully, yes. We can't afford to stay here.
I believe the only one we would need to question on that is Batilda.
With that, you see him kind of reach down to the back of his boot, and then you see him like fumbling around and eventually pull something free, and he's got like a punch dagger, which is like, has the little bar on it that goes between your fingers, and it's a blade on it about yay long. I do not have the strength to deploy this, but perhaps one of you might. And with that, he slings it like through the bars and slides across the floor. With it only being 5 foot, it like comes resting.
I'll grab it.
Okay. As I said, if I can distract the jailer and push him back, perhaps you can deal with him and get the keys.
I mean, I can. So very quiet, not to the witch hunter. I can be like, I can try to put him to sleep first.
And then if this fails and he makes a noise, we may only get one chance of this. Of course, you have to do what your own conscience will tolerate. For me, I would not mourn the loss of one clearly brainwashed and easily manipulated jailer. Especially
Matilda.
after he
Matilda.
gave
I'm
me
sorry,
this.
that wasn't Matilda, that was me.
And this. And this. And this.
Oldad's gonna look to Bertilda.
And we certainly
Matilda's
will
still
not
praying.
need to be able to run the risk of him alerting the guard. He will need to be properly incapacitated.
Honestly, the only one of us who could possibly hold him, I think, would be Bertilda.
This is why you do not hold him. I will push him back. One of you grip him, drives this blade of mine into his ribs, and kills the son of a Shiza. Use the keys, set us free, throw him in the cell, and we will make our escape.
Perhaps we should rest a day so you can regain yourself.
And if they come back to deliver this sort of punishment to you, and then you will not be in a fit state to do anything, much like myself.
got a point.
I hate that he's right.
I know that you have some sympathy for these priests of Ulrich, but from what I have seen and how I have been treated, I believe that there is a cancer at the center of this temple. Something is eating away of it. And only by freeing ourselves do we run any chance of curing it from whatever disease rots at it from within.
In order to help the church, we have to make
Cleanse
a
it.
small
all.
sacrifice here.
How is it that you halflings say you cannot break, or you cannot make pies without breaking a few eggs?
Just like making pies.
This jailer is one such egg. Let us break him, and then we can escape.
I'm not
I
against
must break you.
I'm not against it, honestly. But I don't think I have the strength to be able to do it.
That's really on Bertilda. I mean, I can assist with,
Put him to sleep and then slit his throat.
I don't have any of the physical strength to be able to do any of this.
In my current situation, neither do I.
It's up to Bertilda and myself.
I can lend in keeping him restrained, but
At first, and he kind of like grabs hold of the bars and starts to like pull himself up. And then he kind of makes it, but you can still see he's like still like if he wasn't holding onto the bars, he'd probably be struggling to stand. Of course, I trust your good nature with me trusting you with my boot knife, that you will free me and help me out of this cell once you have dealt with this jailer, and not leave me here to rot. He kind of winces in pain, and as he laughs, grips his ribs.
We would, yes. Yes.
After all, I feel in times like these, we need as many allies as we can afford. And I don't know about you, but I am starting to find that me and my comrades are running very short of allies.
Guess all we do now is wait.
I'll hold the blade out to one of you elves.
I'll take it.
I'm just going to point at Bertilda.
I'm holding it out to you guys.
I'll take
Okay.
it. Like, it's not the best bet. I don't have as much experience, but
Okay. So,
the arrow that doesn't shoot doesn't miss.
Wait, so is Bertilda not doing this?
Matilda has boycotted the party, I think.
Matilda's still over there praying. Nobody has spoken to her.
We're speaking,
We're speaking out loud in a room.
well,
She's
maybe she
praying.
just hasn't
She's not
decided to
paying attention.
answer yet. She hasn't finished her prayer. She hasn't said amen.
She's waiting for Ulrich to tell her what to do.
Well, Ulrich's not telling her what to do. We are. No. Yeah, I'm gonna walk. I don't believe in this religious crap. I'm gonna walk up to you and tap you on the shoulder.
It's religious
I wasn't
crap.
going to interrupt it.
I don't care.
If we can get the help, we need the help.
Bertilda,
Mm.
how would you like to shank a jailer?
I beg your pardon?
Well, we have a plan that entails you stabbing the jailer.
An innocent man?
He's not innocent.
How so? He's doing his job.
He condoned the brutal beating of our witch hunter friend.
At which point he says, as I said, he administered the brutal beating.
Oh, well, that. Better. More convincing.
And they didn't tell... He was told to beat you?
Yes, and he never even questioned it. With a grin on his face, he picked up a plank of wood, kicked me in the face, repeatedly in the ribs with his hard hobnail boots, and beat me with the plank. He relished every moment of it. I still hear his laughter. Believe me when I tell you, there's nothing innocent about this man. He enjoys his work entirely too much. And he did all of this under the order of Deputy Priest Leibniz.
He's just under control of the artifact right now.
And if this is the case, then we must get free and find out how to destroy this artifact and stop this from continuing to happen. But as we find ourselves right now, I believe if you are correct and he is under the guise or control of this artifact, there will be no getting through to him. If we are to save this man, we must escape.
He doesn't matter as much as the order. I'm going to take the dagger.
Okay. Alright, so eventually you'll have the... well, you know what? It's time. So we're going to stop right there, because otherwise we're going to keep going. So we'll stop right here for this evening, right before the attempted brutal shanking of a jailer. As always, thanks to every one of you that chose to spend your evening hanging out with us. We thank you for that, and we will catch you later. Night, y'all. Bye!